Game.
And welcome to Anonymous Bites Back. I do apologize for the little glitch and delay there. This is episode 100. Hold on, let me look at what we're at.
Oh wow!
111. My
Triple one!
bad.
Congratulations!
um. We are missing a little bit of our panel. He's having some internet issues. He'll probably jump in back later on the show. Um. Yeah, big shout
There's
out
a
to
storm.
Yeah, a big shout out to Commander X on Anonymous Global Radio. They are replaying our show on Saturdays on Anonymous Global Radio
Awesome.
.cf. Or you can
Cool.
go to at Commander X Anon, and I think you can find the link to that radio station on his Twitter feed. There are a few pressing issues. One that hit close to not close to home, but not necessarily. But the Israeli Palestinian conflict has becoming it's been getting much. I saw some shit that made me really angry. So in between the volleying of rockets that had happened this week in Gaza, there was a group of about 25 boats with Palestinians that tried to leave the Gaza Strip in order to try and get political refugee status in Cyprus, and were stopped by the IDF, arrested and detained for trying to flee Gaza because of all the shit that was going on there. And if you know anything about Gaza, you can't leave. You can't go to Egypt. You can't go to Israel. The only way you're really going to get out, they have no airport. There's no place to get out. The only way to get out there is basically escape. And that's what these people were trying to do. Were trying to escape to try and get a better life. And they were arrested and detained by the Israeli Defense Force. I understand that there is a law, a blockade in that part of Israel, and but still, come on, you know what I mean? Like they were just trying to escape. That's it, you know.
Uh huh.
Yeah, they really don't. Well, they're keeping contained. They're keeping the problem contained is their motive.
As Orphy said.
The Israeli motive, anyway.
I mean, there was some bad stuff on both sides this time. I'm not gonna lie,
Mm-hmm.
but if you have the people that are trying to get a better life and trying to escape a hostile situation to try and leave and get a better life for you somewhere else, then why are you denying them refuge? You know what I mean? Like
True.
it's kind of like they're trying to keep the animals in a cage, and they know what they're doing is wrong. You know, I don't know.
Well,
That's just
True.
me.
Well,
Yeah, I don't want to
they're
put
the only ones
myself
able to get rid of it.
in the same situation.
Must be a scary 5-year-old on that boat.
Mm.
Hate to see another
Remember
repeat of it.
when the Cubans were coming over here, we just gave them political asylum regardless. Remember that?
Yeah,
Mm.
Yeah, I haven't
that was
seen
years
any
ago.
Cuban exiles. Yeah, it's been a long time since you had. Well, that was politically expedient at the time. That was a good way to keep the bickering going back and forth between us and Cuba.
Yeah. I do have some insiders from Israel that were not cool with what the IDF was doing, and basically they were saying that shit's gonna turn into shit's gonna get worse, even though there's both sides right now we have this cooling off period. It'll just blow up again, and I don't know.
They didn't kill them all this time, did they?
No, there were deaths though. There were about 100. I think it was 116. 100. Yeah.
Oh boy, there was a lot. Yeah, there was like 61 day.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mhm.
Brutal, man.
Yeah. So.
Sure half of those were children.
Yeah. One of them did hit a kindergarten. That was true. One of the rockets did hit a kindergarten in Gaza. Um.
Well, it's just gonna. It is gonna get worse because this having the your embassy in Jerusalem now or recognize them as a capital is a big deal. You know that it'll take time, but that'll kind of resonate through the Islamic world for a while, and it'll get worse. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, the Palestinians that live in the West Bank, they don't have the same issues that they do in Gaza. It's like it's the the problems over there are just magnified because there's no place to go. They can't leave. There's no, you know what I mean?
It's all around them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're stuck in that place, bro. They're not allowed to go out.
They're not allowed to go to Egypt. They're not allowed to go to Israel. They're not allowed to sail out. Their imports have been taken out. Israel controls 70% of the electricity and only allows it at certain intervals. And that was the only reason they're doing that was because of the Oslo Convention with humanitarian laws or whatever. I think that's what they're called. And yeah, there's no airport. The airport was bombed in 2006, so there's no way to fly out. So no, the only way you're going to leave Gaza is out in a body bag.
It's been 12 years, right?
Something like that, yeah.
They just keep grabbing more land. It's the Greater Israel Project. You have to remember that.
Yeah. Yeah, I've even talked about, why don't they let the people in Gaza just go to the West Bank or whatever? They can't even do that,
It's what's supposed to be 12 tribes, 12
Yeah.
12 get together and do something. I mean, besides shoot each other, chop each other.
I mean, in this essence, there's only one person, there's only one country you can blame right now, and it's Israel. Like, they're the ones that are causing the conflict at this point. Shout out to all of our listeners. We have quite a bit right now. What
You
else?
read that from a script, for shame.
I am having some.
Wow. You might be getting a
All
SQL
right,
uniform.
now it's better.
Oh.
And it's
Yeah, we're back. We're back on.
Yeah. So this whole Spotify censorship thing, is now incorporated into music. So not only are the big wig top CEO of Fortune 500 companies and social media companies are censoring not only social media, but they're now censoring music on streaming services. And I don't like racism. I don't like people that do hate speech. But if they're censoring that, then this lays out the foundation for what I would think would be hate speech laws in America. I mean, that's a far jump.
Hate crime law, right?
Yeah. I mean, there are several countries that have adopted hate speech laws, but that's dangerous territory. Considering that in the States we have a constitution that protects free speech, but now it's becoming a trend with this SJW or SWJ, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
SJW.
Yeah, it's becoming a trend now that if that you can be censored and your job can be taken. Well, we'll talk about Roseanne, but you can be censored based on things that you say, and it gets even worse. That if remember with the Daily Storm, like remember the whole after the whole Charlottesville thing, they couldn't even find a server to host their website. Yeah.
You had to go to the darknet. Yeah.
So basically,
Russian darknet.
Yeah, this is. I think it's kind of insane now that streaming services are jumping. Even Apple Music has jumped on this bandwagon. It's getting to a point where it's dangerous territory. This is like real 1984 shit,
Well, yeah. See, when you set the precedent, I mean, nobody liked the Nazis, but when you set the precedent to get rid of them, then you're next. That's what nobody ever gets. And what did it take? A year or two, at the most.
Something like
and
that.
now it's all the activist, your water protector. It's everybody now. That we're that you could call that are leftist leaning as well, but they don't care. If you're anti-government, you're going to get censored. That's the overriding thing that I see from all of it is like left or right. If you say anything bad about the government, well, you're gone. Because we're not going to have that.
Are you sure? I mean, it's like, you can only say from what I'm saying. It's like, you can say what's popular at that time. I mean, like you said with Roseanne, these other shows. I mean, you can't say but it's okay to call somebody a cracker. I mean, it's kind of biased there. I feel.
And once if you give in to that, then that's the path you go down. It doesn't end well for anybody.
No, it doesn't. This is just one more step in their toolbox to try and get us to whatever their fucking agenda is. This is ridiculous. Sooner or later, this is going to be to the point where you remember when back in the day when they were taking books out of the library because they were sexually explicit. This is just like one more step in the toolbox to try and censor speech altogether.
Yeah. Well, they've burned pretty much always the same theme. Whenever you don't get to speak out against the government, basically during periods like this is kind of the overriding thing is you don't get to speak out against the government. That's what they want, control for some reason, and that's to control the message.
Yeah.
Every message, so that you just brainwashed, disinformation. I mean, you got no clue what's going on. Most people don't anyway, even if you're trying to get into the news and everything. But yeah, once you just fill it with propaganda, well,
I mean,
lost.
That's basically. If the CEOs at these at these big social media and streaming now streaming music companies, I don't know, man. Like if they're not on board with the globalist agenda, or what I mean. Like I don't know what the fuck that what else that they're doing. They're pressing this ongoing agenda where like if you say something that's not. If you say something, you can be pulled and censored. And we're talking music now, which is like the most diverse. It's not like on a social media platform where you know what I mean. But like when an artist says something, that's not exactly what they mean when they say it. It's a form of art, But
yeah, but at the same time, well, it's a powerful medium. That's why they want control over it.
yeah,
They always do. It's that avenue for getting out memes and messages, and they're control freaks, so they can't have that. They want control of everything because they're control freaks.
yeah. And I was
That's the bottom
surprised.
line.
I was surprised that Spotify even did this. 'Cause I've been a Spotify member since they started. And this was kind of like came out of the blue, and I don't know, man, like some fucking crazy shit. Now they want to censor music. Like I knew something was bad when Spotify came out with a report button for reporting music. Like I was like, well, why would you report music?
Well, you can program people with music. You can actually take over people's minds with music. Believe it or not. That and a lot of people just can't handle what you got to say with your song or with your show or whatever. We gotta water it down for those who can't handle the real talk, the hard talk.
Yeah.
Well, why did the CIA get into art in the 70s? And purposely put out like crap art to diminish the value of art, and I mean it's just the way they think. They destroy things. Censorship, destroying. It's just how their mind works.
Yeah.
And I remember when they went on a big attack on tattoo artists, and if you're in the art industry, it's like one of the fewest untaxable incomes that you can get.
Speaking
Come
of
with
censorship, we are having issues with Periscope. We are not live on Twitter. God damn it!
Got a stuck Periscope, huh? Can't get up out of the water.
No, I logged into that account and they said that there was an update on the privacy policy because of the whole EU agreement. And I logged in, everything was good, and now I'm getting the spinning ring of death where it's just not going anywhere. Yes, we are being censored on Periscope.
that deal in Europe, is that the one that's going to bankrupt them?
I'm not really informed on all of that, but I did come across an article saying that the George Soros was saying that the EU was fucked, financially.
Well, yeah, I mean they're heavily indebted. Most of the countries are.
Yeah.
Maybe not so much with the EU, but their own internal debts are very high.
Just wipe the slate clean and start again. No, nobody has debt. Let's do that. We'll do that.
You got to pay for all them EU, directors and all these unappointed dictators that you got to. They're all tax free, by the way. Their salaries are tax free. See how that works?
That's unfair.
Well, they have the education to make laws in their favor. We just don't realize it. They make the law, and
Well, it's actually most other constitutions the same, but like here in the States, it's like you're supposed to be equal under the law. The law is either equal or it's not. It's not, then there's some criminal activity going on. That's just all there is to it.
Oh.
How to absolve yourself of other laws. You just doesn't work that way. But this is the post-constitutional banana republic, formerly known as the United States of America. So it's okay now.
Yeah, and so pretty soon, if you say any racist remarks, you'll be put in jail.
You can say it, but you have to say it a certain way, though.
With a political social norm. I don't know.
Well, I'm not so sure anymore. I mean, because there was a white gal that got up on stage with some of these black rappers, and they got pissed at her when she used the N-word. Now, she wasn't using the ER version, Nigga, but still, all of a sudden, now that's not okay. It's like only a black guy can say nigga, but a white gal can't. It's like, whatever, man. It's just all stupid.
It's what I got.
Never ending, changing rules of who can do what and whenever I tell you. It's just like, just get lost, man. People are sick.
There is no requirement.
It's all sick.
Yeah, it's even more sick is that these big companies are getting involved in it as well. I'm not going to defend what Roseanne Barr had said. I'm not going to defend her. But what I am saying, it is fucking scary that you can be fired and lose your job over a tweet. That's fucking weird. I understand that ABC Networks is owned by Disney, but in essence, when in America have we lost the freedom of speech? I understand that employers, have reputations to come over, but I don't know.
They've been doing this. They've been doing this for a while now. Even Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. I mean, I say all those names too.
She literally said she literally said a racist tweet and lost her show. Was it 2 hours later? 2 hours they pulled her show?
Yeah.
It was like 4, but it was pretty quick.
I think there was a money scheme behind it because they pulled all our shows off of these other back channels like TV Land or MeTV. Because
But
it started bringing their ratings back up as well.
I mean, if we want to go, into racist celebrities, I mean, what about Mel Gibson? Like how many times has he gotten drunk and shit faced and said racist shit, but they don't pull his shit, like they don't pull his movies,
well, if you get your
Chris
knee
Rock-
pads on for the Democratic Party and push the message, you can do anything, man. You can rape little kids. You be like a Weinstein, man. You get away with it for 30 years. They'll cover it up.
Jesus.
That's how it works, man. It's America.
America.
That's capitalism, huh?
That's right. It's all criminal activity, and we're proud of it.
You can do it, but you have to do it within the boundaries of the law.
I don't know. It just seems like every day, more and more, everybody's just pissing on the Constitution just more and more. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Constitution, what's that? Oh, that living document we used to have?
Yeah, with our inalienable rights. Yeah. Something that we're supposed to have.
That thing Miss Lance was peeing on in the toilet.
Somebody, let me guess. President Trump's just wiping his ass with it right now, right?
Oh yeah, because he's really a good New York progressive liberal. Actually, regressive liberal. I'm sorry. I mean, they sold him to white America and these rednecks as an outsider Republican. Man, it's the damnedest thing I've ever seen, man. You can literally shovel so much crap down an American's brain, and it just nothing gets filtered. They just accept it. It's just like, oh, it's like, wow, and they just buy it. Look, they don't even think.
Yeah, I was gonna say everything that comes out of Trump's mouth has been a shit show.
And what does he does? I mean, he's big time Zionist. I mean, he's deep state if there is a deep state. It's like, come on, man. George Soros is literally in the family. That's about as deep as it gets.
He is the family.
Yeah.
He's Godfather. He's
gonna drain the swamp. I mean, whatever, man. Yeah. That's what. It's still waiting for that. How long does that take? You think it'd be pretty easy? You just pull the plug in the drain line, right? Just drain right out. No big deal.
Okay, he's got to pass like Marlon Brando.
Yeah, somehow. Well, remember when they did that arms deal with Saudi Arabia, and then as it's all going on, Ivanka gets $100 million check from the Saudi princess. I mean, she learned well from Hillary. They got it down, and they're doing the same thing, and everybody starts clapping like, "Yay!" Right in front of their face. It's
Not a
so
lot of
damn
money.
ridiculous. Oh yes, they're so royal. They're so whatever. They're so criminal. It's like just look at it. If you look at it the right way, it's real clear. Ain't no different.
Well, you know what they say about anybody without a criminal record, they're actually better at not getting caught and can pull off fraud and anything else better.
Well, especially when you're in government. I mean, that's the best deal there is. Because you don't see any of them get in trouble anymore. I mean, they could straight up get caught hijacking, conservative IRS, jacking around on their taxes, the IRS. Nobody gets in trouble for that. I mean, that used to be like way out of bounds. In the America I grew up in, like say in the 70s and 80s, you tried shit like that, you were going to jail. That's just all there was to it. But in the new, yeah, and then in the post-constitutional banana republic, the former United States of America, you can do that all day long. It's okay. It's all right now. Well, whatever. We're talking about, we're always bashing on that guy Creflo Dollar and his jets. You see these other guys?
I did.
Keith Copeland and the other one, Duplantis. Yeah, and I mean, look at these bastards. The shit they talk. It's like, well, Jesus wouldn't be caught riding in on a donkey. Really? I thought he was, man. I thought that's what Jesus did. It's like, what? Who are you people?
What's his name? Jesse. Let me look at his name. Jesse.
Duplantis, I think.
Jesse Duplantis, an evangelic. I can't even say it. He's an even.
Evangelical.
There you go. And yeah, he's already got three planes, and he wants a fourth one for $54 million. And here's the worst part: is he wants people to donate the money to him. And I'm like, what?
How obvious can you be? It's like somebody going up to you and kind of bumping into you like, hey, give me your wallet.
I was gonna say, yeah, the tithing. I was like, man, I've always had issues with that. Like you go to church and there's a tithing, and I was like, wait, didn't Jesus like get all pissed off at the rabbis and like started like breaking shit because they were trying to charge for shit in the temple? And I'm like,
yeah.
So, I understand that the tithing might have a purpose, but there's got to be a boundary zone, with these mega churches and shit like that,
That's for that heat and air.
Yeah, well,
A
they're
nice
just too
microphone.
good. They're too good for a donkey. I mean,
He needs a $54 million
enough
jet.
for Jesus. You think he'd be good enough? Yeah, good enough for this.
$54 million donkey.
I mean, you talk about the largesse of government and all. It's like, who are these? But more important, like who these scam artists are. It's like, who are the people so dumb enough to give them that kind of money? Who are these idiots?
He's already got 3 jets, so obviously there was a lot of dumb people.
Yeah, it's like, oh, what do? You go up in front of your congregation and you go, oh, look, it's like things have gotten tight. The 3 jets are out there. We need a 4th, and it's just time to give for the Lord. I mean, who buys that shit, man?
Why doesn't he do this shit like any person would do? Sell your 3 jets, and then buy the one you want with your own fucking money.
Have an airway congregational.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah, he'd had one of those paid Christian soldiers throw you out of the church for even bringing that up. How dare you, Tyler? Dare you talk about this good man like that?
That kind of like fucks me up that there's any congregation that's raking in like 50 to 60 million dollars. That's straight up fucking robbery, bro.
Yeah, what's your actual cash flow? If you got that much to peel off for your personal shit, I mean, it's like, holy cow. Or all about your personal stuff. Oh, that's right. I forgot. It's not about your outreach or how many kids you're helping or meals you're pushing out the door. On that, I need a jet.
Historically, monks and prophets, have always lived a life of poverty, not luxury.
Hey, it's the inverted evangelical, man. Hey, if they smile at you and wink a little bit and tell you it's for Jesus, people just empty their wallet. It's the damnedest thing I've ever seen, man. I'm going to start trying it one of these days.
Jesus, I need all of my bills paid.
I'm getting there. If it works, what am I waiting for?
Yeah, I hope Jesse Duplantis, I hope you rot in hell.
Watch that jet going down, man. Fireball.
Oh god. What was this? So I'll leave that till a little later. We were something that Micro had brought up that there might be a rogue Google employee, but if you currently search for California Republican Party, it's now listed as groups affiliated with Nazism.
Well, that's interesting because the few people know it, but the Nazis come to San Francisco, California on a campaign to draw help for them, which was oddly allowed by the United States, which didn't really go well. I think that where that might have came from.
they were saying, I think Google defended that and said that it might have been a listing that somebody may have put up some sort of article on Wikipedia or something up on Wikipedia that might have put in the group listings. But I was like, no, not really. Somebody at Google did it. You know, I doubt an algorithm fucked up that bad.
It always seems
Unless you,
to. It always seems to screw up one way. You notice that politically. I mean, it's the damnedest thing I've ever seen. It's
I died when I seen it.
I mean, we're talking about the California Republican Party, which is pretty much Democrat anyway. Like,
God, really. Are there any actual Republicans in California?
I don't think so.
Maybe some
Arnold
old time hippies up in North California. I don't know. A little
Arnold
bit more.
Schwarzenegger. He's
Oh shit! Come on.
The governator.
I mean, he married. Come on, he married into the Kennedy family. Give me a break, man. He's a Republican. See, he's another one. It's just like they forked him out there. Yeah, he's Mister Climate Change, carbon tax. Now that's all. That's very Republican. Yeah, whatever. It's outrageous, man. Hey, I think I heard something about Arnold Schwarzenegger's like one of his confidants or advisors got caught with a bunch of porn or some shit the other day.
It wouldn't surprise if you know anything about. Well, it wouldn't surprise me because Schwarzenegger, like, I've heard it like for a long period of time that that he is kind of a womanizer. So anybody that surrounds him kind of probably would be. I'm not joking.
Yeah, come on, he's a bodybuilder. Come on, man. He had it thrown at him there for a while.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I bet he was pulling it left and right like hot and cold and tap.
Well, I heard the Austrian army were just using him as a poster boy, just sitting there and look pretty, and would just give him prostitutes, and shit like that. That's pretty much what I heard.
Wow.
That's so pushing.
It was literally
That's an interesting link. Pushing prostitutes on Arnold was good for Austrian tourism. I never would have linked that.
Well, they were using him as a poster boy for recruiting for the Austrian army.
It makes sense when you think about it. It's like, wow, that's an interesting angle there.
And they weren't charging him.
Hell no. Well, because they know as soon as they have a baby, they get $10 million out of them. Why charge them 125 or 150 bucks when you can make
month.
millions?
Yeah, you can get that a month.
You can get that per second. Where they let's do it right.
Popping them out like a pinata busted.
Well, it happens to everybody. He's getting old, man.
He already had to have like a second surgery on that heart valve.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was from using. I think the first operation was from. They said it was from a faulty valve, but it was probably from using Deca for like a couple of decades. That shit has long-term side effects, bro.
A little bit too much of that cocaine.
Yeah.
It'll pump you up.
Well, it's hard being a Hollywood star, man. Come on, man.
Yeah.
You got to go to all them parties and get totally blasted and snort all that cocaine, man. I mean, it's not for amateurs. You have to be dedicated.
I bet it's rough, man. Local guy, Nikolai Koloff, he's not long, 2 years passed around here, and he looked like Yoda in his elder years. I mean, cane and all. I mean, when he walked, his hip looked like a rotating platform to swing his leg all the way around so he could step forward each time. I bet that's some stuff to you.
So what did that to him?
All the drugs and
Steroids?
alcohol. He'll go around and tell everybody his life story. You know, you wouldn't think this was Nikolai Koloff. You know, this guy was like, what, 6'5", 6'6", and you're looking at a guy that's barely 5'8", 5'9", and he lost a lot of size, man. I bet Arnold's swelling out now, isn't he? Like eating GMOs.
Yeah, I think Arnold's shrinking, bro. He's getting old.
Is he shrinking?
Yeah, he's shrinking.
I think that's
Well,
a side effect of drugs and alcohol, shrinkage.
I think he's getting old too. He's like hitting 70, bro.
Oh yeah, with all them steroids and everything. I mean, I'm surprised he made it that long because mostly when you're doing it at that level,
They
know,
usually don't live
you
past
don't
40.
live very long.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's got some good medical. Well, it was like what was that guy, Magic Johnson? You know, he got AIDS way back in the '80s and survived, you know, because he could afford all the megabuck
medicines,
pills and everything. Yeah, he was one of the first ones.
He started a foundation to research AIDS, didn't he?
I think you're right about that.
Yeah, it's a personal journey in his case. Yeah, see, when you're a big star like that, see you be banging it so hard, man. It's bound to happen, you know, especially back in that day.
I heard there was kind of some controversy on how he even contracted the disease. You know,
prostitute.
I've heard otherwise, bro. Yeah. I heard it was a bromance, bro.
Hey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, come on, Micro. You know, this is Hollywood, dude. You got to get with the program. I mean, if you're not bisexual, you're just not stepping out there, man. I mean,
yeah, I'll step away from that.
I did not have sexual relations with that man.
Just kept running. Just ran.
Oh, God. Remember that meme?
Yeah,
remember that meme that was going around with South Park? The cure for HIV was money.
Ooh.
But you don't remember that?
No, missed that.
No.
Well, one of the best ones I ever heard is what do you call Magic Johnson in a wheelchair, and it was Rolaids.
And we are getting reported. No, it's funny.
Triggered
again.
Triggered again with those hate speech laws. On some serious notes, some Anon stuff. Operation UN is in full effect. If you guys go to any UN site, you might find that you aren't able to reach a United Nations website. Just throwing it out there.
The CDC.
What? Oh no, I'm just throwing it out there. Not going to get into any details, but you might just have trouble reaching a United Nations website. So along with, I'll get back to Jeff Sessions, but so now some serious debate on legalization of marijuana in Illinois will be coming on to the next ballot. And in retaliation to the legalization of cannabis, because medical is already legal in that state, so recreational, I think, is what's going to be voted on. The Illinois Sheriff's Department said that they would have to euthanize. I've talked about this a couple times. They would have to euthanize all of their dogs that were previously trained to sniff out cannabis if it goes legal in Illinois. I'm just like, what the fuck? Why would they even, I mean, that's like, you know what I mean? Like, so you're going to try how do you even argue
how do you even tie those together? Necessarily. It's like, well, you just couldn't let the dog go. I mean, just like because they switched policies, and it's like, I got to kill the dog. You know, it's like,
That's what that
see,
was.
this is how their brain works.
Yeah,
It's all threats. It's all intimidation. It's just how they operate, man.
that's exactly what I'm thinking. It's like, how do you put legalization and then put euthanizing, like killing things together? Like, whoa, where did that come from? That's out in left field, bro. You know.
Yeah.
Sugar is a weapon. Yeah.
But Illinois Sheriff's Department is 100% serious that they will euthanize their dogs if cannabis becomes legal. And I'm just sorry. This is how the opposition fights. Like, do you want to legalize drugs? Okay, well, we'll start killing animals. Like, what the fuck?
That's what you call standardized terrorism.
See, that's when you have to. I mean, well, okay. Here's how it goes. The average weakling American in that area will go, "Oh, don't do that to the dogs, Tyler. No,
Yeah.
no. Oh, okay, don't kill the dog. Yeah, okay. Yeah, cannabis can be illegal. Yeah. And that's the way it would go. Instead of being strong and telling them, you know what, fuck you, kill that dog. Go ahead and do it. See what happens.
You know where
That's
I
what that's what you're supposed to say. But
where I live, cannabis is legal. It's completely legal.
no.
But they didn't kill. They didn't say let's kill the dogs where I live. But Illinois says we're gonna kill the dogs.
Well, that's the. I mean, if you've ever been to, well, yeah, you used to be in Chicago, so you know how it is. It's
Yeah.
like, hey, it's a big city, man. It's just like that's how you talk to people. It's like, hey, get the fuck out of my way, you know.
No, they're just looking out for dogs. You know how people are. They're going to get hungry with somebody's dog. At least just going to go ahead and get the dogs out of the way so nobody's eating dogs.
I mean, and like you can. They're saying that their argument was that they could not retrain the dogs, which there might be some validity to it, but I highly doubt it. You can train a dog another way to get around stuff like that. And if they become unusable, you could always adopt them out, give them to a family. You don't have to kill a fucking dog.
Oh, you're talking about the drug dogs?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Well,
they got to threaten they got to threaten the dogs to get the politics that they want. That's what they're doing. It's just how their mind works.
no, they get the dogs addicted to the drugs. That's why the dogs find them so quickly. Oh, straight up, man. I used to know a guy who worked for a canine unit, and he said they would quite literally feed the dogs cocaine, opiates. You know, they could sniff marijuana, but they cannot sniff out cocaine, so they would actually have them ingest it.
I saw a video like that.
It's
Before,
really a sad
yeah.
thing. Yeah. Go ahead, Denise. Sorry.
It's animal cruelty, you know. Why they just put up those dogs for adoption?
I think that they're just using this as an excuse for opposition of.
Not legalize
Yep.
cannabis.
Yeah. For real.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only reason. Well, you got to thug the population. I mean, this is how politics works. And who better to do that than the police? I mean, they do it every day, all day long. It's the new America. See how that works?
Oh God.
Do what I tell you. Do what I say right now, Tyler, or else. You know.
Or we're gonna kill our animals. Like, what the
Yeah,
fuck?
or I'm gonna go over there. I'm gonna kill your dog and your cat. You know, it's just like do it.
Oh my God.
Come on.
I have chicken and turkey, so we have a roast.
There's some poor immigrant that can't eat because your dog and cat are sitting there. It's good food, man. What's the matter with you? Yeah,
No,
let's just get
I-
outrageous. I mean, it's. I mean, I. What's funny is I can think like that. It's not my normal state. I see where they're coming from. It's just like I just can't believe people actually live like that and do it. But it's just like,
Well,
okay,
if you
whatever,
know
man.
if you know a Chicago cop, they probably would. They probably would do something like that.
Well, yeah. Look, I mean, look at what they do. It's like you try to cut them back a little bit. Oh, it's like, hey, we're going to have to cut back a little bit on you guys' outrageous pension. Oh man, don't touch our pension or else, there's going to be a lot of cops that ain't going to show up for work. Oh, okay. Oh man, really? It's not like you guys are planning anything, but it's strange you
It's
mention
like
it like
the
that.
Chicago cops are so incompetent that they wanted to call in the United Nations as peacekeepers to solve the violence and crime. And guns aren't even legal, and they have the most violent city in the world. Violent city. Actually, more people are shot in Chicago each year than there were. Oh my God, there was a statistic. They were correlating it to deaths in the Iraq War, the last one, and more people was
Yeah.
shot in a month, like in a year in Chicago, than there were deaths in the Iraq War.
Seriously?
Oh, that's true. Yeah, Chicago. That's why they call it Chirac.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think in 2017 there were 4,500 shootings, and I believe it was like 3,500 homicides.
Yeah. It was terrible in the 90s as well, People walking through the streets, just straight slicing people up in razor blades just out the blue and keep walking.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's like really, it's like a culture is developed there, especially on the south side of Chicago. Man, it's like it's in multi-generational ingrained now.
Well,
You know,
if you ever been on the south side of Chicago, it's Wild Wild West. The cops will not come if you call them unless it's a violent crime. It's just a given if you live on the south side.
Yeah, if you're not laying in the street bleeding, they ain't coming.
Yeah.
Barely then.
Yeah, they talk about all these no-go zones, man. There's a bunch of them here in the U.S., man. I mean, just go to any big city. There's always.
I think Oakland, California was another no-go zone, right?
Yeah, that's pretty bad. Yeah. In general. Well, then, yeah, I mean, the Oakland PD, I mean, I don't know how many years ago this was. It could be like 10 years ago. They said they wouldn't come out for even violent felonies. It's like, literally, if you hadn't been shot or you weren't, near death, they weren't coming out.
Yeah, they made Oakland made the top 20 most dangerous cities. Yeah.
These man, it's just like, oh, hey, we ain't coming.
Little Rock, Arkansas was like that as well.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of Arkansas, did you hear that they're outlawing abortions in Arkansas?
Good. Yeah. Step up for them.
Yeah. Did you hear about that, Preston?
Hey, what about Arkansas? No,
Hey, what
I
again?
didn't.
Yeah, they're going to outlaw abortion or the abortion pills in Arkansas.
Oh.
Oh.
I believe
well.
it'll be the only state where a woman will not have access to the R134 or whatever the fuck the pill is. They will not have access to it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's R134. That's refrigerated coolant.
Sorry. R134A. Sorry, my bad. That's for young.
They'd probably abort your kid, too.
That'll embryo it.
No,
that's weird because Arkansas, well, they can be liberal at times, but yeah, that's a kind of a heavy religious influence too. It's kind of weird politics there.
yeah, I only lived out there for when I was really young. I don't remember what it was like.
You're out there when Slick Willie was governor.
I think we're living out in Blythe, out in the middle of fucks nowhere. But
oh boy.
yeah, I think it got Planned Parenthood is getting involved in that one and are bringing their deposition to the Supreme Court. And I don't know, that's always like a flip flop one, I mean, I thought Roe versus Wade was set in stone. I didn't know that it was up for debate.
Well, to the religious folks, yeah, I mean, they can't let that one go. I mean, if you're a pro-lifer, they can't let that go until they win. And but the other side's the same way. I mean, they believe in it, they want it. And,
I mean, I could name a million
uh,
situations where where a child shouldn't be conceived, but that's like my personal stance. I am pro-choice, personally, but but to deny a person, a medical access to something that was agreed that it was a law, Roe versus Wade should be set in stone. I don't know. It's like it's
What if you're like a rape victim or something?
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you're a rape victim, like what the fuck, or
the religious, and I call it like a religious Marxism. Their idea is like, well, you just bring that baby into the world. They force you to have that kid. I mean, it's just as bad the other way, really.
Yeah, but how do
I-
they enforce this? Do you like they won't just they just won't like give you any health care, or
No,
like
they
they make
won't-
like a criminal?
they
Because
won't allow the woman access to the pills that would induce the abortion.
so, but if you go to like the next state, you go to like another state,
You
and
might
then you get
you
it
might
there, then
you might have to leave the state to get the abortion. That's
Yeah,
yeah.
That's
That's how
where
you-
insurance and
that's how you get around it.
Yeah.
Because they threaten the doctors in that state. The doctors won't do it. They're not going to give up their license for it. They'll just say, "Oh, the hell with it."
Isn't
And so,
Arkansas where that bombing happened at Planned Parenthood with the pipe, the one with the nail bomb? Didn't that happen in Arkansas?
Boy,
That was in the 90s. I remember that one.
There was I was thinking about Oklahoma City.
there's been several series of them. Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
you haven't seen bombings one way or the other in a while, but yeah, some people go to that extreme with their beliefs. It's
Yeah, I remember hearing about this on the news, and I was like, man, like, what the fuck is going on with America? I thought Roe versus Wade was set in stone.
well, honestly, if you even come from the constitutional side, it's like there's no reason for them to be in your business. Basically, that's I don't know. That's the way I see it. I mean, I don't. It's a hard one because there's a kid in there and a person and all that. But I mean, let's face it. If the mother or the family can't get it together and they don't want the kid, and you force them to have that baby, what chance is that kid going to have? And then you're not going to take care of them. It's just like
Well, there's also
that's like torture too. There's
also-
no good choice there.
there's also worse situations where if the mother has medical complications that she would most likely die if she was pregnant, you'd be forcing her to basically die.
yeah,
Yeah.
Well, that'd be the only way I agree with it. If there was a chance of loss of life both ways or one way,
yeah.
that's the only way anybody should do it.
Yeah, no, I kind of agree with Micro too on it. Like, there's like, you also like you do like decide on like the life of like a kid who like probably would love to be alive actually, but like in the case of like rape victims or like medical complications, I would say like you have this free choice. So yeah,
It's got to be a tough decision to make.
I'm pretty sure it's not something that anybody wants to make, but there's a lot of people that do make that choice.
Well, you
Yeah.
gotta be cold. You gotta be cold blooded like the church. See, they force you to have that kid, but they sure as hell ain't gonna pay for it.
Nope.
You're gonna pay for it. They're not gonna pay for it, but they'll tell you what to do all day. So it's two-faced nature. It's like you can't. There should be some responsibility there. If you're gonna force people to do this, well then you have to have some plans, help them out. The church has got to cough up more. I mean, you got to do more because you can't just tell people to have all these kids and then not support them in some way.
So not just have a licensed wedding, have licensed birth, 2 children per family, no more, any less, no government assistance. Kind of like China.
Yeah, that's the way to. If you were going to limit population,
I was
why
gonna
we bring
say
anybody in?
Yeah, and those WIC, the assistance with WIC is even debatable. You know, those checks that they give the new mothers, the WIC, WICC.
Wicks, yeah.
Yeah,
cheese, eggs, and egg.
yeah, yeah. It only helps out like if it only helps out like a tiny bit. It really doesn't help out the mother too much.
Yeah, so it's all about being loving and all about the kid, and yet, so there's the kid. He comes out 9 months later, and then you just leave single mama alone if she wants to take care of him. If not, then they're in what, the foster care system. It's just not much of a life, man.
No,
Yeah,
not
that's a
to
hard
be
way to
raised
do
in a
it.
kennel.
It's going to be tough. So either way, it's a hard call, but
We'll see. We'll see. We'll see what happens. The
Yeah.
Planned Parenthood is bringing it to the Supreme Court. I'm not sure what will happen, but I think that they'll win. Planned Parenthood really does have the best lawyers in the country.
yeah, and I don't know that the court hasn't switched, politically enough to go. But maybe within 5 years, if Trump say appoints 2 or 3 justices, that might change. But I don't see how you could do it just yet.
Yeah.
Man, no, you just go to Mexico for that. They're a little bit. I don't know if they're so big on the abortions, but there's other places to go. France.
Yeah, yeah, and that's the big thing. Like, if people are going to do it, they're going to do it anyway, and they're going to do it somewhere else, and where the quality of the medical things are just less. So yeah, you're just putting people at risk, and yeah, it should be up to people what they want.
Terrence.
Is the internet fixed?
Is he there?
Hello.
See him anyway.
He's doing something.
That's somewhat scary, right? Because you're also putting the moms at risk. How I wish we also have that WIC here.
Oh,
Some
yeah.
assistance, yeah, some assistance
Some
subsidized
assistance.
by the government. We don't have it here.
Where are you at, in the Philippines?
Yes,
Oh.
we have our own way. If if you will be giving birth, you're gonna shoulder all the expenses. But we also have some benefits. We also get some benefits from the government. But one thing I've noticed here in our country is like teenage pregnancy. It's growing. Um, we can find you can see like single moms everywhere. It's kind of scary because I'm sad seeing those teenagers having kids at a very early age instead of spending time in school, or if they're professionals and they can simply go to work first, enjoy their salary, and go on vacation if they're able to save some, instead of, I don't know. But I don't have kids, that's why. I have a different way of thinking.
They're very Catholic, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I guess we're the only Catholic country in Asia. And I
Oh,
guess we're the
yeah,
only
you're right.
country where divorce is not yet legalized.
Oh,
We
really?
don't have divorce.
Wow.
Yeah, we don't have divorce right now. That's I am not sure if it has passed the Senate for the law, but I just wish, because annulment here is very expensive.
Oh, you can get it.
Mm,
You can get it annulled, but not the actual divorce.
yeah, it's expensive, and I'm not sure how the legal difference between divorce and annulment. But most people here are
Ooh,
rooting
yeah.
for divorce to be legalized. we're rooting to have divorce.
Well, my understanding of annulment versus divorce is like the marriage has been broken, and annulment is legally how. Well, I'm kind of hearing myself talk. Annulment is a complete dissolution of the whole marriage, like it never happened.
Yeah, true. Complete dissolution, as if marriage didn't, happen at all, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
That's
it
Well,
did.
and
annulment.
that's within the religion too, within the church.
Hmm.
It was started by King Henry VIII.
Really, like it never even happened. I mean, that's just not even real. It's a fantasy.
Oh, let's see what else we got. So Trump is going after Jeff Sessions again. I believe this
Trump
is,
again.
yeah, he's attacking Jeff Sessions. Not This is tied to the Russia investigation, right?
Oh yeah,
Preston?
the whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Sessions is like the local fool coward that you can berate, and because he doesn't do anything, he's good for it. So it's like makes Trump feel better. Hey, I got to step on this guy and step on his toes. No big deal. And it's weird. He sit there and complain about the guy, and he's the boss. He could get rid of him at any time. It's like if you don't like the guy, get rid of the motherfucker. What's taking you so long?
I don't with his
Loser he is.
with his
But yeah,
policies and the attack on the cannabis federally and going after I don't know, like half the shit that comes out of his mouth is like out in left field, like, and his policies are too, like the old 1950s way of thinking,
Oh yeah, he's a good old boy if there ever is.
Can't just throw somebody out just because you don't like them around there, right?
Well, Congress, when he attacked marijuana on the federal level, that's working against him,
Yeah, they're working against their own politics. They're not very smart.
Well, Congress said that they would defend medical marijuana on a federal level. I mean, that's worked again. That's something that is not gone in his favor. And then Jeff Sessions has also said that on his stance on legalization of marijuana, that he literally said that good people don't smoke marijuana, and I'm like, what the fuck are you like? What kind of fucking delusional world do you live in? There are tons of respectable people in the world that smoke weed.
Hmm.
Well,
And the benefits medically are fully proven. Like it's not just like as a painkiller, but there are other benefits as well. So I don't see like harm. Yeah.
I think in his case, the big conflict is he's got a lot of an investment in the prison complex. Being from the legal side, invested in that as a business, and he didn't want to see that go. We can throw all these dopers in there, and they're easy, man. They're non-violent. They don't give them too much problem. They make a good buck off of that. That's the world he comes from.
Yeah, but the reason that like marijuana is like put on the same list as other drugs is because it's illegal, and you have to buy it like on the street from some dealer, and he's also selling other drugs. Like if it would be legalized, you could just buy it like a place that just sells weed. So it's just like
You guys hear me finally or
say
no?
Oregon,
Yeah, I can hear you.
Colorado,
Wow.
and so forth. But yeah, it needs to be national, man. Just get it. It's so stupid, man. This is the kind of politics we get stuck on here for like 50 years. When it's like the debate's over, man. It's just like this is childish shit. Let's move on.
Well, it's beyond just the debate. Like the debate is in, and they didn't like the last national survey they did. 40% of Americans, it was like about 40% of Americans believed in just complete recreational marijuana. But 80% of the U.S. right feels marijuana like in every single state. It's not even like a divisive issue. Like everybody agrees except for what the people involved in the war on drugs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and like
Like if you don't
complex, yeah, yeah, man, you're cutting off their gravy train. They don't want that.
stand to make like money off of the war on drugs, you're against it. It's like literally just that questions at this time. It's as stupid as alcohol. Is that what got you serious?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, if alcohol is legal, then weed should be legal too. So simple.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's
I
not
mean,
just. I mean, if it's so much like below the effects of alcohol as well.
And it's one of a class of a few. If you want to go into the recreational aspect, there are quite a few recreational drugs that you can do out that you can't OD, but marijuana happens to be one of them. You know, you can't die using it.
Like zero deaths from marijuana.
Exactly.
Not even a couple, not a few here and there. Like zero deaths from marijuana. Like how dangerous can it be that over the 60 years that they've been like working on this, right, fighting the drug war, not a single fucking marijuana. It's ridiculous.
I don't know. Did you ever see
The money
that?
that we're spending on it is even crazier.
Well, I guess what gets me is there's always these their willingness to go after stuff like that and control people for really no other reason than they want to. It's something that people want. It's like, no, we're not going to let them do that. And to push that angle as long as they do, it's amazing, man. I mean, it's.
No, we're making way too much money off of putting people in prison. Yeah, like to fight cities is their like that's what they're using this equipment to do. Guys, for my connection, it's not. Yeah, I can't hear anybody.
I can hear you.
Hey, you're breaking up real bad.
You have some echo
Yeah.
on your camera.
Yeah, no, I mean that specifically is just so, it's gone so far and it's so ridiculous. I mean, the fact that they still have people like in prison, even in states where it's became legal, and there was almost no questions asked when they put you in prison, but then they got all sorts of questions when they need to let you back out. Right? Mandatory sentences, right? We're not even going to ask any questions, right? You're just going to prison for the rest of your life. But then when the law changes and it is legal in your area, they don't have that same. All right, well then we'll just let you out, no questions asked. Get a 3 strikes policy, because they're at like 12 strikes at this point.
Yeah, I actually know a guy right
Like, I
now.
feel-
He's fighting his third strike, and yeah, he might be doing life. I even think,
Oh my god.
yeah,
I mean, I truly feel bad for the people that are behind bars right now. Like one of the ones that you can be in, right? Have it taken away, being in a dangerous place, police at any moment, fucking other inmates that can do horrible things to you at any moment for nothing else than having a bag on them. In a state where it's completely legal, like that's a travesty.
yeah.
And if
Governments
what's
like gray
different
areas
is,
like that. They like playing this game. They can play the federal against the state and get you in that limbo area, gray area, where they can still bust you 24/7, and it's all just a sick joke, man.
Yeah, I
Well,
remember.
I don't think it's funny. I don't think it's funny at all.
Yeah, I remember when medical marijuana was legal in the state that I'm in, when it was just medical. the DEA were coming into these shops that had paid for the licenses and would raid them, steal all the product, and these people who had invested $100,000 or more would be out of business and broke, and with the jail sentence.
Well, and like they shut down, I don't remember what the state was, but they shut down a bunch of CBD oil places. I know I posted the video of the cops' like statement.
Oh yeah, because the gummy bears, and
it was all kinds of jacked up, and they were like, "Oh well, it's a we're worried about getting it into the hands of children." And then one of the like journalists was there, and they were all like, "Well, have you found it with any children?" And they're like, "Oh no, they card pretty hardcore here, so nobody under 21 has got them." Okay. And then he's like, "But they look like gummy bears." And the journalist is all like, "Well, are those them?" And they're like, no, this is a pack of gummy bears that we got. The ones that they have are in a sealed container with warning labels and all of this crap on it. And it was almost surreal. And then at the same interview, the journalist, because he says, "Hey, we're shutting down these throughout, anywhere in the county, they're illegal." And he says, "Well, they sell CBD oil at Walmart. Are you going to go and, raid Walmart?" And they're all like, "No, we're going to look into that."
Yeah, and as far as I know, in December of 2016, the federal government determined CBD oil as a Schedule 1 narcotic, which doesn't even make any sense. It's a Schedule 1 substance, narcotic. And but there are some loopholes in how CBD oil even gets out. So it's legal to produce CBD oil if you use hemp and not the medical grade sativa, where we're talking levels are as low as like 1% THC to 20 milligrams CBD. So
yeah,
this is real low grade fucking weed,
And it doesn't even have any psychoactive effects. The
Yeah,
CBD.
absolutely none. Yeah.
did it really take?
I thought you had balconies in these rooms. At least you've got aircon.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just give me $10 tomorrow. So 10 off all of us.
What's going on over there?
Who's talking?
Sorry, that was a food. It was a food delivery that 4 hours ago we ordered this
Oh my
food.
God.
Wow.
So when
Super
the show
late.
started, I was all like, I can't wait any longer. So I took off.
You should get it for free now.
Yeah, it should be free, and they should have brought
Yeah,
extra.
for hours
the room.
late.
Yeah, if it's hot, something's wrong.
That's what. Well, it was. It was 12. It was $12, and they took $2. Yeah, I don't know what I can do about the echo. I don't think that's actually me. It might just be the connection we have.
Somebody maybe in front of an extra set of speakers or feeding through.
Unfortunately.
Yeah,
No, it's back to what we're talking about. Like the information there, they're literally like looking to try to make a bit of money. And I don't know, it blows my mind how much consensus there is about this one issue. You're hard up to find something, that isn't medical marijuana. And it's already like recognizing that it has medical benefits. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the reason that 80% of the people, everyone from your grandma down realizes that there's medical benefits here.
Yeah.
And yet the only people that don't seem to record are really like the people that are making the money off of incarceration.
Yeah, the federal government has started implementing these the opioid crisis. I'm going to call them the opioid crisis laws, and they're kind of making it harder and harder for doctors to prescribe opiate medication. It's getting ridiculous in some states where we have people with long-term health issues, and they're requiring doctors to only prescribe 5 days at a time for opiates. And knowing full well that a lot of these pain medications, not in all cases, but a lot of them, you don't can be solved with just giving the patient weed. You don't necessarily need to be putting them on, oxycodone. Well, I'm getting some bad echo.
Double along when they're. Well, they're just gonna hit the streets, Tyler. That's what you do. It's like, okay, you're not gonna give it to me for a prescription. I'll just go to the heroin dealer down the street. It's no problem. It's gonna be cheaper, in fact.
I even to the debate of whether opiates are bad or not, and I've got quite a background in the medical industry before I fucked that up. Like painkillers have a real medical purpose. You've never, like, a lot of these politicians and people in Congress and never see the medical benefits of people who are in some real bad pain. I mean, like there are terminally ill patients. We have obscure genetic disorders. People that have been carved up in bad accidents.
There's definitely a need for pain medication. It's just like it's this weird robotic system that they put into place, and it's like and they do it with the judges and everything too. Like at some point, you can't think for yourself. You can't say, okay, I'm looking at a patient, I see his medical records. You know what I mean? He's got multiple sclerosis, got this or that or anything, or he's been in a hole. Pretty easy to look up. What they're saying is you can't give out fucking opioids like fucking that comes in, and much in the opiate epidemic, like deliberately handing them out because Pfizer has told you to, right? Because Vicodin has bought up all your doctors and has pretty much pushed these drugs on people. That's what we're trying to stop. Like, you should be able to look at, you're a doctor, look at this fucking medical records. Like, obviously this person needs pain medication, and in the thing where there's other things that you could use, well, then the doctors can't prescribe. They make it so that they can't prescribe.
That's exactly what's going on here in the United States. Is the doctors can't prescribe the opiates like they used to anymore, and it's becoming this fucking bass backwards thinking in where they're letting Congress dictate the rules to the medical community.
Well, and I'll give you kind of a personal example.
Lost you.
Right? My mom was in the VA system, right? And she had broken both her hips while on active duty. She's been long term, but to go into that, I was that hardcore. Right? But, she was on pain medication for like a legitimate hip surgeries, the works. It wasn't like it was out of the blue.
Terrence?
What is it with New Zealand, man? It's
like extra,
Coming in and out, Terrence.
and then they needed you to
Can he hear us?
I don't know.
of
Hello.
education.
It's the helicopter.
Terrence.
They made it
like having Alzheimer's. You don't know what's going on around you.
all of these.
I don't know if he can hear us.
Hoops to jump through.
I don't think
Somebody
He has his own thing,
He's just going to have to upgrade his plan.
She did all of them. They have a civilian doctor and refused to look at it. Like, look, this guy was hit by IED, right? He's in constant in pain. Did I get you? Did I get?
Did you at least get the text?
Terrence, are you there?
They don't.
I dropped out. Like, yeah. Okay, well, he'll be back.
Oh my god.
Being censored right now. Well, didn't he say he was getting banned and he couldn't even? He was trying to share some stuff and got a ban or something. Shut his account down after 2 shares or some shit. I mean, it's like whatever. You know.
Oh yeah, Facebook stuff. Yeah, well, I do know like New Zealand internet is pretty well. It's pretty good. So I don't know what's going on, but there's something is happening with his connection.
I can think of several situations: being too close to radio interference, too far from the cell tower, too far from the relay. There he is, Terrence.
He's back.
Nope.
He's in.
No, he muted himself.
Okay, I see him.
The police are on him with a Stingray or something, man. He's got a bad connection.
No, don't jinx that stuff. Dude.
So I kind of want to move a little focus, like back onto something that we talk about every week. Something about Commander X has been talking about. Okay, Julian Assange is in a worse situation than I thought that he was last time that we spoke on the show. I usually do give about 10, 15 minutes to talk about Julian. So the new president of Ecuador had talked openly about what's going on with Julian. Finally, something has come out. And basically what they're saying is that Julian... No, I'm not even going to word it like that. Julian, there was a suggestion that they might give him back his Twitter account, or he'll be able to get back on the internet and have guests and be able to communicate, unless he doesn't talk about anything political, which would be another gag order. And they were saying that if he did violate this, they would have to make decisions, and they didn't define what those decisions were. So basically what they're saying is that they want to put a gag order on Julian, which is already going on right now. And
yeah, he would never be allowed online anymore. And
this is bad. This is really bad.
Yeah, because he is a journalist, and not just a journalist. I mean, everything they published is like never has been debated. It's like 100% correct. So what they're doing is like censoring knowledge, like literally censoring facts.
Well, WikiLeaks hasn't come out with anything new since November. Correct? Am I correct? Since the last time they told them not to do anything.
Nothing big, but they do sometimes give some new info, but nothing like really big, like really big leaks. But I do know that they must be getting a lot of info. Like people still send them things.
For sure.
Yeah.
But
yeah, you're losing your big spokesman. That's the that's the big.
Yeah, and
big drag there.
You know what pisses me off is that the longer that this goes on, that he's not connected to the internet, and with this possible new gag order, we're going to gradually. This is a plan to get him to succumb to the courts, to turn himself in. That's exactly what this is.
There's also something. Go ahead, Preston. Sorry.
Oh no! You're either going to stay there imprisoned, or you're going to actually go to prison. So either way, there's really no. I mean, we've said it how many times. We'll just make a run for it, man. Just get it over with. Maybe you'll be free and you get through, but
something is going on.
I'm sure we've been. I don't know about everybody else.
Come again?
I don't know about everybody else, but the live stream is stopped on Facebook.
What?
Triggered
stopped on Facebook.
Oh shit.
Something happened to the stream.
Said Julian Assange.
Actually,
Triggered it.
no, I was
Oh, that's it.
immediately censored. Like I got and shut down.
Oh no, it's
As soon
up.
as you mentioned loading.
Yeah, we're still live on Facebook.
I think he means he got banned for sharing it.
All right.
Screen. Yeah. Well, we were just showing a blank screen on our side for 3 minutes
Ugh.
Well, that is weird.
here on all the devices that we have. But no, they banned me right away too, and that happened the same thing last week. And you know, there are hundreds and hundreds of videos, right, in the show that they immediately.
Was this for sharing in groups or on pages?
I was sharing on pages. That's why like it banned me. It put me back in Facebook jail.
Damn.
No, that's fine. It's never worked before. It's not gonna work now.
It's funny how scared they are, right? Like,
Yeah, you can't.
what's the difference?
You can't shut us up. Come on. Like honestly, okay, not not just us personally, but how long has Anon been around? Have they had any success at shutting us up?
They tried deleting us off of Facebook. That didn't work.
Yeah, none of that has worked, but yet they keep trying it. Yeah, it does make my day a little bit more difficult that I have to get other people to share it, but not that much more difficult.
After 10 years, it's no longer a trend.
No,
Yeah,
that-
like people just expect us to be censored. Oh yeah, like
Yeah.
Anonymous is gonna drop some truth. They're totally going to try to silence them. Like people expect it at this point.
Okay, well, let's
Chances are,
thank
if you're not being censored, you're probably lying.
Commander X then for restreaming our episode.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, being on the airwaves, I really like that. So yeah, definitely a big thank you to Commander X for the hookup.
Yeah, for sure. I believe he's also live tonight. They moved his programming. I think he's live now.
He's broadcasting our episode, so at least he said
Yeah.
it shortly before the episode. So he said he would go live with us. So.
I think he moved his a little bit earlier than rebooted ours. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and he reruns it later in the week, like a second time.
Oh, also a heads up, fam, to our listeners. We are still experiencing an issue with our live stream on YouTube. I will be re-uploading YouTube as uncensored episodes after they are already live streamed. You'll see it the next day. But they're doing something weird with their I don't know, the algorithm is not working right where it's cutting us off to the last 2 hours and then 2 days later giving us the full episode. So I don't know what the fuck is going on there. I think that YouTube really is just fucking with us, or it's really bad programming on their censorship algorithm. One or the other.
It's definitely on purpose. You know what I mean? Like they cut things out at certain times every time. It's the same with the censorship on Facebook and Twitter. I mean, it's more than obvious that they're doing it on purpose. I think eventually we just end up overwhelming it with content and shares and videos. But yeah, I mean, it's on purpose. I don't think that there's a problem in the algorithm. I think the algorithm is working exactly the way that it should.
Yeah, I don't know. Like remember that warning that I got from everybody on the page when I talked about how the Facebook shadow ban algorithm worked, and the next day everybody got this warning that we had to delete one of our posts.
Yeah.
like Facebook, I was really on to something, bro. Like,
are on social media that listen to our that listen to our post probably did take that like into consideration. We gave you that one for free. Enjoy. Like, I'm not surprised that you went and told on us.
Oh God.
Yeah, but they're suiciding because we're getting more and more support from outside of these networks, and they're like restreaming us. Like Commander X is like an example of that. He just he loved the show, so he restreams it, and yeah, we will get like more of these people doing it outside of Facebook, and so they're like suiciding. It's like it's not smart. It really
Yeah,
isn't.
it really is the same. Like, that tactic has never worked.
It's like our newspapers here in the U.S. They push their garbage, whether their subscribers want it or not. Their numbers are constantly been dropping for 30 years plus, and they just don't care. They're the mainstream. They're going to be there whether they make money or not, and that's what you get. You know.
Well, and I think, I mean, not us specifically, but I think
Everything
it is
they
a real
touch,
threat
they trash.
to mainstream media, because people are walking away. Like, when I said in the beginning that if you're not being censored, you're probably lying, I mean that, right? And the things that aren't getting censored are only the stuff that's coming from the mainstream media. Right. If the algorithm was bad, then Fox News would be getting banned and their content deleted. NBC and ABC. All of their old videos where they came out and straight up lied about presidential candidates and what was going on. Didn't tell the American people that they were being influenced by the RNC and the Clinton campaign. Right. Those should have all came up as fake news. Right. They were blatant lies. They're known lies, right? The same with, you don't see any of those interviews or anything from the Iraq War, right? All of the times when these leaders came out and lied to the American people, to the world, right? WMD specifically. We won't even get into 9/11, right? But WMD specifically, right? Why aren't those flagged as fake news? Right? It's propaganda. It's inherently fake news. But yet none of those even accidentally come up. And you would think if it was a bad program, right, if it was the algorithm, then it wouldn't just be silencing, people that aren't in the mainstream. It would pick up those other agencies too, even every once in a while, just on accident. But that literally never happens.
No, and that's what's suspicious about it. It's along political lines. You can see it. It's clear as day for the most part. Other than like in your case, Terrence, if you get the water protectors or other activists in there, then they'll come after you too. If you're anti-government, but that's where it seems to cross the line, political lines anyway.
Well, and I saw a real repression of the stuff that was coming out of the Bundy ranches. Right, and they're and all of the stuff that they're doing, like, it didn't turn out well for them. Like, I think it did end up losing, on purpose. But it was like a moment when a lot of people did start waking up that normally didn't. You had that same demographic that normally, when you see police brutality, they're always on the cop side. The feds are always right. The government's always right. A lot of them started to wake up when they saw, hey, these are the people that you're not supposed to be beating up on. Right? These are just, like, white Americans. You can't be shooting them, right? And that was exactly what you were seeing. And then that was all shut down. Like, their streams were shut down exactly like they were doing to water protectors.
Oh,
Now,
yeah.
I don't agree with it. I don't agree with them, but I saw the same tactics. What they were protesting, I think, was bogus.
Yeah, but what the common denominator though is,
but you still shouldn't have snipers. You still shouldn't be taken down.
yeah. Oh no, that's true.
All of that. It just cut out the last just cut out the last head.
Am I breaking up too?
No, it's bad.
No, you're fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess we got some haters in our Facebook feed.
Hey,
Hey,
Just one
hater.
guy.
haters make you
It's the
One
same
guy.
guy.
some guy.
Yeah, one guy. He's like spamming, like he's obsessed with spamming.
Damn it. We missed one.
I don't know. I don't get it. He's spamming. He hates anonymous, but he has an anonymous picture. Anonymous is dead. Okay. To each their own.
Yeah, I see. He has like a Warner Brothers mask.
Whatever.
He says, like, Anonymous is dead. He says, Anonymous is dead. Give it up.
I don't want to drop names, but his name sounds very familiar. I'm not joking. Ugh.
We're not going to mention his name, but then he's going to be in the episode. Sucks.
Let me see what else is going on. Let me see. Senate Bill 882 passes in California, repealing federal FCC net neutrality net neutrality laws. So, guys, I'm not really sure on when Congress will vote on the federally repeal what had happened with the net neutrality Title II laws. But I do know that California did pass something similar that would not allow ISPs, to internet service providers, create fast and slow lanes, which Title II of the net neutrality laws kind of covered. Other states have adopted. It's official in California. As far as federally with Congress, I don't know. Like, I'm just going off of what's being reported out there, and as far as what Congress is going to vote on, it's kind of a ghost town. I don't know. Do you guys have any info on that?
Mm,
Well, I mean, we don't. That's the deal. We don't really know which that's gonna go. I think it wouldn't be wise for any sitting congressman to vote to repeal the net neutrality laws. I think a couple of other issues, it really is a career-ending event, because you're on with the people. Is kind of the people in a way that very few other issues do. And everyone that's voted against it has had, heaps of trouble. They're going to be unseated because of it. And like, net neutrality is such a hot button issue, they may pass it to keep their jobs. But if they don't, I mean, it's like a career-ending event.
Oh yeah, for sure. And people are going to be voted in, real soon, on the local level.
And with that one, like, nobody pee, right? So there's already like an underlying hatred for the phone companies. And then this on top of it, people immediately want to know, why did you side with these 4 companies that have a monopoly over the system and not with the people? And there isn't a good excuse. There's no way you can paint it as a national security issue.
Kind of losing you there, Terrence.
and we haven't gotten that sound in a long time, man.
Terrence, you there?
No.
Shoot.
Yeah, I don't know if just look, whoever the agent that's recording today, can you please like reboot your system? Because I think it's fucking me up at the moment. And if
You
you
got a
want to
bad
get
Stingray.
like good intel, you're gonna have to keep the system working. Like, you guys want to get the recording, so you got to help us out here.
Yeah.
But no, I think it's an issue that it's not decisive at all, and they can't, like, nobody is been up, the government is concerned, they all supported it. They would like to have pushed it through without anybody making a big deal about it. And that hasn't been the case. You're hard up to give a good reason why you support repealing something that keeps us all on a balanced level, right? That levels the playing field. Like most people are pretty happy with that.
You know who I'd like to kick in the balls? Ajit Pai. Like, for real.
Jeff Sessions.
Yeah, and Jeff Sessions, dude.
I mean, you put a couple of losers in the wrong spots, man. They can really
would that
screw
be
you
the hardest of all?
Oh my god. Danger, danger, Will Robinson.
Max Headroom.
So, Ajit Pai and Jeff Sessions are standing there, and you're allowed to kick nuts. Like, we're in that situation.
Kick them both in the
Standing in
nuts.
front of each other. Try to get them both. No, I didn't
Right.
threaten to kick Jeff Sessions in the nuts. I just, if you had it, for some reason, a genie popped up and said you had one
Well,
wish. No, they both are just
No,
like
I mean-
horrible human beings.
But even if you did say that, it's okay. I mean, it'd be okay to kick him in the nuts. I'd be all right with that.
Yeah.
No, I don't think anybody would be opposed to it.
Honestly, right now, I think most Americans, they'd be all for it. It's just
I'll
like, yeah,
challenge
get rid of that
it,
guy, man.
like, just
Whatever it takes.
like, I'm pretty sure he's a Sith Lord, and I am definitely a Jedi. I challenge him to a fight at any time.
Rochambeau.
Like, we can pick a nice little venue. In fact, we can line it up, right? No problem in the ring. I'll take Ajit and Cephalo Dollar at the same time, like back to back. We can do it like WWE style.
Hey, man, you better watch Creflo Dollar. He's got the white guys, that's Duplantis and Keith Copeland coming after him now, man. They
Oh
want
my
Jets
god,
too.
yeah, Jesse Duplantis. What a fuckhead.
Yeah, we can't let a black man get ahead like that.
Right, yeah, you want a $38 million jet. I need three $54 million jets. And he says he needs it so that he can spread the word. Get a YouTube channel, man. You do not need a $54 million jet. That's insane. I hope that, like, I don't know, Cephalo Dollar is just like,
Creflo's is nicer, though. He's got a $60 million. His is nicer, still, I think.
Uh-oh.
Hmm?
Think
I
we
am.
lost
Don't
him.
talk shit about Creflo Dollar, man.
Damn.
They're seriously jamming him or something.
I know, it's like drop data packets.
most. Please,
Gotta love those EMPs sometimes.
well,
Got his
pretty
channel
much, yeah.
figured out, dude.
Yeah. AM radio is dead.
Well, they'll
Ryan,
let
I think
him.
by this time he knows I cannot stand that guy.
I'm sorry.
I will grease right off. No, even that. You steal Cephalo Dollar. That's all. I'm just gonna go in there and be like, dude. He is probably one of the worst human beings on the planet.
Yeah.
In those suits, like, he looks like a greasy, pastor. He's got, like, how did you not know, with a name like Cephalo Dollar.
That's his street name.
Got it off
That's-
the pack of
What's
Marlboros.
his real name?
That's got
Yeah, Clifford.
a break, man.
He only now to his benefit, right? Dude's name's Cephalo Dollar. He could only be a pimp. Those were the only two lines of employment without changing his name he was gonna get.
Aye, aye, aye.
They had to pimp himself out for the Lord, huh?
That exactly. Like he's not even. He's like a cliche. Isn't that the line from from Papa was a Rolling Stone.
Yeah.
Please, people, quit giving these guys money. Like, what are you doing? You don't really believe these televangelists at this point. You can't. Like, that's just going too far. You know they're lying to you.
Man, that's all I know. Because when well, like that Duplantis, he said that Jesus wouldn't be seen on a donkey in the modern day. Can you believe that shit, man? I mean, it's
Yeah,
just
yeah, yeah. If it was, that would be. Like, you want to be like, and nobody ever stands up and is all like, hey, where does it say that in the Bible? That just does not sound right.
you need to slap him with a Bible is what you need to do.
Oh, I wish we need like one of those, like, just like Bible thumpers to just walk up and smack the crap out of him with the good book. It needs to be done.
For sure.
Yeah, instead of clapping and handing him money,
Just,
call him out.
I
I mean, come
or
on.
like, I think, and now I may be mistaken here, but I think for being a false prophet, you immediately get stoned, don't you? I'm not putting words in anybody's mouth here, am I? But I thought that was the punishment for stealing from your congregation.
Yes,
And in
I
those
don't think
super churches,
getting
man, in those
stoned
mega churches, that is a lot of rocks.
Well, he's just willing to take that chance that it's not true. I mean, these guys are something else. I don't know how they spew the Bible and do what they do, and then do what they do. It's a
Well, sermons, they don't. You know,
it's just
they make up their own stuff. They think about, like they're already like, the guy that wants, that wants the four, right, private jet. His is the prosperity ministries, where somehow being rich makes you more loved by God, and they work the crap out of that. Send me your last $5, and $10 will come back to you. And I mean, I don't know who still believes that crap, but they do. I mean, enough, because somehow God is playing. Congregation that will, that are going to lose their homes, that are homeless, right? People that are, absolute believers who will go hungry tonight, and you're riding around in a $54 million jet. But yeah, that's what this prosperity ministries, game is pretty much you give them money, and by giving them money and seeing how great that they're doing, that you'll also do well. It's like religious trickle down economics.
yeah. They're actually getting away with it too. It baffles me. But it must really play to American decadence because it works. I mean, these people look at the millions of dollars. It's incredible.
Well, they said that and who was it that said it? I don't want to like I don't want to misquote the person that said it, but it was, God, I can't remember it, but the quote is that Americans, we're not poor, we're all embarrassed millionaires. Right, so everybody has this that illusion that the system is set up that if you just work hard every day, right, and pay your taxes and follow the set rules that they've given you for life, that you're going to be prosperous, and that's not the case at all. You got to fuck people over to be a billionaire. That's the only way to get there.
True.
And we never quite
Yeah.
look. Eventually, we're going to have to wake up and realize giving all our money to whoever's standing in front of you at the pulpit, at the political pulpit, right? Giving all of these people your money has never made us, has never made us more prosperous. In fact, it's always taken away the money from the people that need it the most. Look, if hard work and dedication, would make you rich, every coal miner on the planet would be a billionaire. That's not the case. Especially not if you get black lung, and then your insurance won't cover you because it's not because of the coal mine you were working in. Yeah, but yeah, that was just this week. I can't. And if you hear his like sermon, it's kind of evil. The little package that he put together for his viewers on why he needs. I need another plane so I can spread the gospel throughout the world. YouTube channel, man. It goes to every on them. You don't need that at all. And then he said, so he said if he can just help one soul, what you need $50 million to help one person? Like you could literally just walk down the street and give people $1,000 that
You know,
need it.
I'm pretty sure he could get across pretty much any ocean with a twin. You know, he didn't need a jet. You know, number one. But it's all about coming in in style, like you're some kind of royal or something.
Maybe. Fuck, he would have flown.
Hello, guys.
Terrence is gone.
Oh yeah, we're here. Sorry, I went to something.
I guess Free Flow is blocking out Terrence. Yeah.
He's really being tormented tonight, for sure.
I'm sure he's raging right this minute. Oh, damn, Steve.
Yeah, to our viewers who are on other platforms, I will figure out what is going on with our Periscope connection. I thought it was just a matter of logging in and signing OK to a new agreement, but apparently there's something else going on. I'll have to figure that in the back channels. So either that or we're being censored from Periscope. Damn it. Oh well. Let me see. Signal. John, you told me Signal service went down today.
Yeah, Signal service went down. Apparently, the story was that Amazon dropped their service to Signal. But later tonight, I saw messages that they were up in certain locations again. So I don't know if they either have their Amazon service back or that they have like replacement service in like a few hours' time.
Wow.
Honestly, I don't know what a service like Signal does at Amazon because it's like a super pro privacy encrypted service, and Amazon is not. Yeah, it's not really the.
I would be surprised
Right.
that Signal would even be. I was surprised that Signal would even be using an AWS server. If you know anybody that's affiliated with an AWS server, you know it's fucking got. It's not secure. Like
Yeah. It isn't, and Amazon itself is not really pro privacy either. And I mean, they've always been involved with these weird scandals. Even that last scandal of like the searches in the operating system Ubuntu was being like attacked by privacy activists because the search was apparently logging your searches and like sending it to Amazon to offer you targeted ads. And Amazon was receiving your searches, they literally like your desktop searches from the Ubuntu system. And I'm a Ubuntu user, so I was shocked by it. They send you targeted ads. So Amazon has always been involved with these kind of like weird privacy invading things. And now that to have Signal on their service, and Telegram also used their service, by the way.
they do. Like I would be surprised. I was surprised.
Yeah, but the Russia blocked Telegram, right? It was the big scandal.
Yeah, that's why
And then
Op
Telegram
Russia's going
switched
on.
to Amazon.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they switched to Amazon to like circumvent these blocking things, and then Russia started blocking the Amazon service, and then then all these other big companies were suddenly blocked in Russia too. So it was like a big scandal because they blocked Amazon in pay ranges. IP range.
DNS 1.1.1.1.1 went down. That's what you're saying, right?
Oh, isn't that the new DNS?
Yeah, I think it was piggybacking what you guys are talking about. I read that just before all that happened.
Yeah.
It's all being rerouted. It's got a lot to do with that new DNS.
Oh.
I didn't quite read it all day on Twitter I had to jump out to work. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't. I do think that Signal is like a major target for like law enforcement because they have like the full end-to-end encryption and they don't share it either. With,
You know who got attacked also that was really secure? Do you remember LavaBit?
yeah.
Yeah, remember he shut down his service because the FBI was asking him for emails because Edward Snowden was on it, so he shut down the service.
Oh yeah, you mentioned Edward Snowden, and now that makes me think that there was something I wanted to say earlier in the show. Like Julian Assange is being silenced, but also Snowden disappeared for a while from Twitter, like almost a month.
Yeah, I noticed that as well. Was he being gagged?
I don't know, but he was like silent for a month, and then suddenly he returns. He makes like 3 posts or something. Now he makes like one
I
post.
think some of that had to do. You guys remember they were in negotiations on giving Snowden up in a trade with the U.S. And that didn't actually end up happening. But what I think they did was negotiate, a way to have him silenced or censored.
Sounds
It's
right.
been really far, few and far between. And yeah, I really do think that's on purpose. Because they can kind of hold it into our faces, that they have him, they're not willing to let him go. But I think that they did work something out with how, cushy we've been with Russia, and to just have him silenced when he's in Russia.
It does match with like the U.S. strategies that they usually like clean everything at once, and they like will take on Julian Assange and Snowden at once.
Yeah. Snowden was also developing that new app that turns your phone into like a spy tool. You remember that?
Yeah, he showed everything, like the extra microphone built in, and
Yep.
yeah. And Snowden is also someone who speaks out for Julian Assange. So when Assange is like silenced, and usually Snowden does similar actions. So they are very close with each other. I mean, Freedom of the Press Foundation from Snowden accepted donations for WikiLeaks for a very long time. So it doesn't surprise me that they're both silenced at the same time. He didn't mention anything about it, Snowden, on his Twitter, but
Honestly, I think Snowden. Well, remember Julian helped Snowden escape from China. If anybody remembers that. Yeah. They were in the same room together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot of people don't remember that. But yeah, I think Snowden is in a much better place, than Julian is because honestly, like as long as Snowden is in Russia, like I don't think they won't give him up. He's more of an asset to them than anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Could you trust somebody who had all your secrets that ran with them and give them to somebody else?
He's more of an asset to Putin than I tell you what.
Well, that's the type of things you have to do nowadays to get the word out. I mean, it gets crazy like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it is kind of sad when you have to take off to communist Russia to spread it, to tell the world about your government's illegal surveillance program. Like that in itself is pretty fucked up.
Well, I remember Jeremy. Remember Jeremy came across some other shit that was similar to what the NSA was. Remember the Stratford hack?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why. Yeah, he's still locked up. They're not going to release him.
Yeah, one of our guys fucking uncovered one of a CIA spy operation.
Yeah.
And it's not even uncovered. Like, look, guys, for the people that are out there, right? The government is still spying on you. Like the government illegal spying, the U.S. government's illegal spying. You know, you can name a government. Their illegal spying program is still going on. Like it's a joke to think that they stopped it because they got caught. You know, like they stopped murdering people because the CIA got caught murdering people. Like that doesn't happen. Like you know the people that you're working with. Do you really think that they turned that off? They came out in a statement and said we're not going to do that anymore. That's a total lie. Like not even one that you should believe.
Of course, and it's
The
global. It's in
government's
other
not
countries too.
spying on you, and the CIA is not training terrorists overseas. They quit doing that when they got caught. Like nobody believes that.
No, the fact that they became the hunters after they got caught, like they should be the hunted after they get caught. I mean, they should be like public hearings and stuff about it. But no, like the person who uncovers this is like forced to be like locked up in Russia somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, should be public hearings about the CIA and the NSA, what all this stuff. I mean, WikiLeaks did a fine job too to get him actually into a safe place. But yeah, give credits to this Sarah, this lady from WikiLeaks, British WikiLeaks journalist.
Wasn't she with Snowden when they were locked up in that holding place for like a week?
Yeah. Her name is Sarah Harrison, and she is. You can look her up on Google.
Yeah, there was like no
Don't use DuckDuckGo.
when they left China, there was no guarantee that their plan was to go to Cuba. Remember that, or something?
Yeah.
Like? Yeah.
Yeah, but WikiLeaks, deliberately spread like disinfo to them.
Yeah.
To,
they bought like
yeah,
they bought like 17 plane tickets going different directions.
yeah. Yeah, they were like destined to get him to a safe place. Yeah, of course.
I'm just kind of glad he's up there with that he was able to even get his wife out there. That was kind of cool.
Yeah, and the U.S. broke the law because they forced one of the plane. Like they said, like Snowden was like in a plane of like a presidential plane. It was either the Ecuador president or another president. It was like at a meeting in Russia, I think. And they said he was on that plane, and they forced the plane down in Switzerland on neutral ground. And the Americans forced this plane to land, and it was actually illegal because there was a international agreement to not have these. They don't have any jurisdiction.
That was with Julian. That's right. I remember that. Right.
Yeah. Either way, they broke the law doing that. So yeah, it was either with Julian or with Snowden. Yeah, I think they said he was going to leave Russia or something on a plane. But yeah, no, that's like chaos, right? I mean, America like showing like power over all these European countries too.
Yeah, I mean, we just push everybody around. We insist on all these laws. We're a nation of laws, and then break them.
Yeah, we're a nation of laws, but we don't follow any of them.
Oh, exactly, and like free speech is something very, very important in the U.S. these days.
Yeah, it used to be. It gets you in trouble now. Yeah, just go out there and try it.
Yeah, but like U.S. Used to be like all about free speech, and it was actually better than in the European area in the past. Like especially like with legal requests, like you had like a website hosted in the U.S., then it would pretty much have like any form of free speech just up. Like you were like a neo-Nazi or something, you could just host it in the U.S. and would not be taken down for like free speech reasons. And in here it was actually more restricted on that, and now it's different. Now it's very
now it's the opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I've been saying. That because I think that hate speech laws are the next thing coming for the United States. I really think that's what the next thing that's coming around.
Yeah. It's weird because you just push them into the underground and they become even stronger. So
Yeah, like I don't like that. I don't like that idea. I prefer them to feel like they have an open forum. It really does make our job in exposing them that much easier.
Yeah, exactly. You can just debate them in public, and you can just so easily discredit what they say. And that's
Yeah, like I don't think that it's the government's job to limit your speech. If the rest of society turns on you, that was, that was you wanted to stand up there and spit hate. That's really what you brought on yourself. But I'm not down with the government controlling our speech.
Well,
And I mean, we can see what they've done with the powers that they have right now.
Yeah, then you're going to end up with two guys like Mitt Romney and John McCain. They're going to be your official speakers.
Yeah, those would be your spokesmen.
Yeah, they'll be the spokesman for everybody, and they'll spew the official shit, and everybody will just start clapping.
Well, they put the applause sign on. You're almost obligated to.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. It's like a Hollywood set.
Well, it is. I mean, at this point, it really is. Like, there's most of what we're seeing now is theater, complete with makeup and remember your lines and all of that. Like, it's so fake at this point. Like I said, if you're not being censored, then chances are you're lying. And you think of all of the people that come out and kind of act like they're saying what's off the cuff, but it's not that way at all. Everything's completely scripted.
Yeah, you're just being a suck ass, really, because I mean, like you say, if you're not being censored, you're not really speaking. You're just parroting a narrative, the official narrative. You're being a good little minion, and they're leaving you alone. That's the only reason you do that.
Yeah, which I know we bring it up at least once on the way by. I want to know what exactly Alex Jones says that scares them so much, because on most of it, recently he's been like on lockstep with whatever Trump says. That's kind of creepy. But what is it that he does say, right, that they find that's so scary? Because there's a reason why they're shutting him down and don't like it, and it's not because of his support of Trump. Right? There's something that he's saying that's so true that they're scared of him, and I'd love to know what it is, because he said some real crazy stuff on there. I really wish I knew which one.
Yeah, when it comes to Alex, it's kind of like all over the place. It'd be hard to pinpoint, but there literally, yeah, you're right. There literally has to be something that he's saying that's causing that.
Well, it's the pedo
Yeah, there's
stuff.
a reason why they're worried. Why they're worried. Whatever he's saying.
But I mean, he doesn't cross the Jew or the Zionist line, but he does attack Hillary. He does go after the pedos, and that's enough right there. I mean, you're on the list.
Well, he does go after
Especially the
the
pedos.
globalist agenda. I mean, he does.
Yeah, but he never names
but then
names.
but then he supports guys that he knows are pedophiles. You know what I mean? Like that is. It's been like a recent thing, and I agree. Even he did an interview with some of the top Klansmen, and God, he tore them apart. It was really great to see. But there are certain things that he stays away from because, I mean, obviously he's told to.
Oh yeah.
Or
Yeah,
you like, like
well,
us, like we can only, like just the mention that maybe Israel was involved in a genocide at the moment can get you censored, put down as hate speech. And it's not at all, any more than America is guilty of genocide across the Middle East at this point.
Well, yeah, it's not anti-Semitic if it's really happening, it's,
Yeah, like it does nothing to do with your location.
Yeah.
Right? You're still war criminals. It doesn't matter what state you're in. And that's like they do use that as hate speech right away.
No, facts
or
are facts.
Chris, you said, God, if you don't stop like murdering innocent Palestinians, we're not going to buy your product. Right? They'll make that illegal. Like not only will they put it as hate speech, but they'll make even saying that right illegal not to sell a certain product in your store. That's insanity. Like literally telling you have to buy this.
Well, yeah, they go. Well, they tell you you have to buy health insurance and all that now. So I mean, they're these mandated services. Is the way to go now.
Well, and that's like an underlying thing because like the Affordable Care Act had all sorts. It has all sorts of problems and reasons why they did this and did that. We really do need Medicare for all, right? And it takes that whole game and that whole profit and mandate. You don't need a mandate because everybody has health care. That's it, right? There's nothing weird to buy into. You're not making this corporation money or that corporation money or creating a new monopoly on healthcare that goes through the government. Right? You just have healthcare for being a citizen. And that
makes sense.
scares the crap out of them.
Oh, you mean socialized medicine? That's something that we should have had here like forever.
Well, even that would be better than this fascist healthcare you got now, because now you get limited care at high cost. You got the worst of both worlds.
Yeah,
bro,
it's
it's so bad. Like I recently went to the ER. Remember, I was having all those stomach issues, and I went to the emergency room. That visit cost me $6,000.
yeah, I believe it.
Yeah,
And you've got insurance, huh?
yeah. They only paid for half of it, so I have a $3,000 bill. And I was literally in the hospital for only 3 hours.
Yeah, we're in the wrong business, man.
Yeah, $1,000 an hour.
Damn.
So I mean, at the end of the day, we need to open up a church that has a medical clinic inside of it. Is that how we're?
Holy cow! Yeah, if we want to really rake it in,
Yeah.
you're onto something there.
And then we can we've got your afterlife sorted if you pay the right amount of money, and if you want to live, you're gonna have to pay a shitload of money.
Yeah.
Tax free, by the way.
Yeah, I really don't understand why we don't have socialized medicine here in the United States. It just makes sense.
I think the danger is already in calling it socialized medicine. Like it should be like outside of politics because it's like a human right. Your health, and everyone should be. They should be doing anything to just anything they can to keep people healthy, and it should not be political. If you're just calling it socialized.
Outside of the U.S. Outside of the U.S., and I mean, guys, I've been all over the world. I can't think of a country that I've been to that didn't have socialized medicine.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Here in the United States, they'd rather you, if you're fighting cancer, they'd rather
it's
you go bankrupt.
Just the U.S. at this point.
Yeah. They literally want you to go pay every penny to the medical industry and the insurance companies. So basically, when you're fighting cancer, you're just going to go bankrupt and broke. Trying to get healthy. That's how ridiculous it is.
Yeah, they got you figured out. Well, that's what happens when you let corporate people do it. You become part of the bottom line, and then you get eliminated from the bottom line. You're costing the money.
Yeah.
Pay up. You don't pay up. Oh, no insurance. Oh well. Goodbye.
Do you remember when it was so bad when the big corporate hospitals were sending people out to county hospitals when they didn't have insurance, and they got busted doing it?
I can't believe it actually happens in a country like the U.S.
Oh, it happens.
Yeah, it's happening more and more. Yeah, it used to be you could go in anywhere. If you're indigent or whatever, they still give you care, but that's come to an end. I'd say in the last 10 years. They're actually kicking people out now. You're like, whoa, man. Talk about cold-blooded there.
Yeah, it is pretty cold-blooded. In here, it's kind of like semi-corporate, semi-socialized, but like everyone has in the Netherlands, everyone has a forced insurance. You can't pay for it, then they will subsidize it. So you can't, only if you really can't pay for it, they will subsidize it. But it costs like a 70 or like $100 monthly. Every citizen pays this. And
I'd rather do that. I'd rather do that than walk out of the hospital with a $3,000 bill for 3 hours.
Yeah, when you got insurance, I mean, give me a break.
Yeah.
What the
Oh,
hell?
if you don't have any money here, then you don't pay anything either. It's as simple as that. So yeah, they're not going to charge you like thousands of dollars or euros if you don't have any money. Like it's impossible. That's that's really shocking in the U.S. The U.S. is like such a big economy, and they can pay for it. Like cut down on your army or something.
Oh yeah, there's plenty of money for it. They don't do it.
Yeah.
You know, because I mean, we're a corporate hijacking network. That's what America really is. It's a fascist system. You see it with the healthcare. It's that's typical of what you get here. You're gonna pay a lot of money for stuff you don't necessarily get anymore, and it's just this corporate driven. I don't know what you call it, man. Just this. It's gone overboard.
I think this military establishment is retarded too, because you actually, as the US, you already work together with like other NATO countries. So
Yeah.
why do you waste all your money on your army when you already got like allies with an army too? And why not just ask them to do a bit more and you pay for your healthcare? Like, yeah, I don't get it. Like,
I don't get it either.
Well, we're control freaks. Let's be honest. We like to tell everybody what to do, tell everybody what the rules are, and then immediately turn around and break them because it's convenient. It's just two-faced. I get tired of looking at it. I don't know. I'm surprised the world doesn't explode at us, more than it does.
One day that'll come.
Outrageous.
yeah, well, if you cut your military budget through half in the US, you will still have the largest NATO military budget, and you still have the largest military alliance, this NATO thing, in the world. So I don't know. You can just cut it to half right now, and you will still be the largest army in NATO. You can still decide what happens. Like if that's what it's all about. I mean, you can actually pay for your healthcare.
Sure. It's just, you can't spend 10 times as much as the next 10 guys and then act like we're not under attack. What's the threat? You're just a bunch of paranoid control freaks, man. Pushing your empire.
Yeah.
At great cost on bullshit wars that are lies. But whatever.
I think that billions are also going to like the development of new weapons and stuff. Like I'm thinking like these are all corporations too. Why are they not paying for this themselves? Like they're selling it too. I mean, like Lockheed is like a corporation; it can pay for its own development. Like
Northrop Grumman. There's quite a few of them.
yeah, they can pay for their own inventions. And why does the U.S. government like have to use like a military budget to do that? Like it's not. I don't get it. But
Oh man, that's because that's where this real stealing is going on. That's where the big money is for, these. Let's be honest. It doesn't cost $1 billion for a freaking F-22.
No.
That's highly inflated, man. That is ridiculous.
yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's just a license to steal. The military-industrial complex.
You're pushing them like on top of the stock market, like artificially.
Oh yeah, well a lot of the things we do are like it's like the money policy. The Fed, the way they give the money out, helps pump up the stock market and corporations. It doesn't, very little trickles down to the little guy. They hold all that money. They're not giving it out. That's for buying back stock and doing deals and all the rest of it. It's like fuck the little guy, man. You get to pay for it. You get the bill, you get to pay for it, but they're the ones making the money. Yeah, it's just grand theft, man. GTA Grand Theft America.
Yes. Not only the F-22, that those javelins, they were charging. I think the military was paying $80,000 per one of those javelin bazookas. Remember, it's just it's a bazooka that shoots up and then shoots down, kind of like a mortar, but it's rocket. You know what I'm talking about? The javelin.
not so much of like toes and all that, but yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Some technology like that does not cost $80,000
Been
a
around
pop
forever.
a round. No.
You know, and then these missiles, they cost so much too. Like, and every missile you shoot, another like, I don't know, but these bombs too, like they cost like millions.
Oh, like
Did
the what was it? What was it? The one the 50 megaton bomb that cost like what was it 10? No, it was $50 million. The one the Moab, mother of all bombs.
Yeah, and you drop them like on countries like Iraq. You drop them on Baghdad and stuff, and like the only thing you're doing is like killing civilians, and like you could just walk in that country. You could just like take it without using these bombs, even. So, I don't know.
That weapon was so ineffective that you needed a was a C-130 Globemaster. It had to be like attached to the undercarriage or some shit just to drop that thing in.
Yeah, it's incredible. There's like so much hatred in this local population you create with these things. Like, yeah, you're actually saying like, yeah, we're going to free you from like an evil dictator, so we're just destroying your entire city.
Well, they're love bombs, and we're spreading freedom and democracy. I mean, let's use the words that are. I mean, it's just.
Yeah.
I mean, if you say it 1,000 times, people believe that shit. It's like, oh yeah, freedom, democracy. That's right. Yeah, America's good.
Yeah, that's what that's what Hitler said when he like bombed Rotterdam to the ground, like one of the largest cities in my country. And he walked like in our country, spreading freedom and democracy.
You guys deserved it, right? I mean,
yeah, because apparently we had like terrorists in our country responsible for bombing the Reichstag. So yeah.
No, that was like the when he did it and he blamed it on that kid that had mental disabilities.
Yeah, he was a Dutch communist, right? He put the Reichstag on fire, and that was the reason for the war on terrorism by Germany, and they pretty much invaded the half of the world. So yeah.
It was the Reichstag was based on a lie, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was this.
Mhm.
Some would say it's like the German Twin Towers thing. But yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, he hadn't been in about a month and a half or 2 months, man. He didn't waste any time.
Oh no, and yeah, it was the perfect excuse to like attack. Or they would say like, yeah, Germany's under attack, so now we can finally use our huge army to kill everyone. Yeah.
I was gonna say, coughed Bush. What do we got going on here?
It's so similar, and but eventually they also were stretched thin with their army, and the economy was collapsing as well. So I don't know if that's the future of the United States. I don't know. I don't hope for it. I hope like the people will like change something, but you can't sustain armies all around the world for forever. So
No, it won't work.
No, not the way we're doing it either. I mean, look, we've been in Afghanistan, what, almost 18 years now. I mean, it's crazy. The longest war ever. It's like, for what?
yeah, exactly.
It just,
Yeah, ever since I've grown up, it's been ever since like 92, it's been a perpetual war.
oh, but in the 80s, yeah, it actually started with Carter. I think it started Mujahideen like in the late 70s. That goes way back.
Well, and they've pretty openly came out and saying that their goal is endless wars. Like McCain came out and said he wanted to be in Iraq and Afghanistan for 100 years.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he did say that. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah,
Yes,
I mean
if
that's
you
so long
had-
that you've even you've forgotten what you were even fighting about. That's where we've gotten to North Korea. Our issue with North Korea changes every 30 years. The people that retired that started those wars, you're to the second, third generation of being being at war with a country. You don't even remember why you went to war.
No, exactly.
And in our case, every single news article should be talking about the illegal war in Afghanistan. You know, they make it sound like it's somehow legitimate every time they make a post about what, you know, or make a statement about this and that happened, and not that you illegally invaded a country, right? Destabilized an entire region for what, Halliburton, I guess.
Basically.
But it's not even, you know, and these aren't stupid people, right? So, I mean, the anchors at every big new organization knows how wrong this current run up to war was, and they never say anything about it. You know, even when they talk about casualties, it's not any of the U.S.'s government's fault that, you know, 3,000 soldiers died in Iraq and Afghanistan. It's not their fault. They lied to you, right? They lied to the entire world, made up, you know, a story to invade a country for nothing but profit, and those lives, for some reason, are not on their shoulders. Right? That's not their fault, and it makes no sense.
Yeah,
And then they want us
nobody's
to
really
rush
buying
in, you know,
that,
and
yeah.
believe you next time.
Well, you know, this what gets me. I mean, leftist media, because I mean, the same people run it like that, ran it back in the '70s, but they were anti-war, and look how they covered it back then. Now it's like you got all these wars going on. You got what, 8 wars, and they don't cover anything. They just schmooze it all over. They're okay with it now.
Yeah, and
You
a
know,
lot
I mean,
of the
something's
things,
really changed, dude.
a lot of the things that they end up talking about are not because they wanted to talk to them about it. It's that if you don't, you're going to miss this story. You know, they were the last people to talk about, you know, the couple hundred people that were killed in Gaza 2 weekends ago. You know, they weren't the ones that were breaking that news. Social media broke that news and then wouldn't let it go, and then eventually they're forced to talk about it. You know, like it was a story that they looked into.
I mean, they don't look into much of anything. They don't break many stories, any hardcore investigation type stuff going on.
Oh yeah,
You know,
when was the last time that you heard from corporate media a breaking story? You know, a story that wasn't on social media first.
yeah, I don't even look there anymore. That's the thing. I don't think there are very many, you know, but you don't even look there anymore. You know, you just like scroll through Facebook in 5 seconds. You can get way more faster, you know, even as sanitized as it is compared to that shit. Yeah, it's just a sad state of affairs, man. I don't
Yeah, I
see
mean,
how all these people think it's going to work to their favor down the line. That's the other thing that gets me, because it always, you know, the blowback always comes back on you. It's just like, how is doing it to people and censoring them now? How does that really work to your favor down the road?
I don't know.
I see a short-term benefit there. It's like, man, you're really going down the wrong path, screwing up bad.
yeah, like I think it is just it is a real short-term benefit, because the blowback does always seem to undermine it. You know, when you told people they can't read, that really caused people, you know, more people to read. When you said you couldn't print, you couldn't write, you know, the printing press, like all of the things, the internet, all of the things that they've tried to repress through that method, you know, the spread of information, has backfired horribly.
Yeah.
Mm.
But they're a one-trick pony. Lord knows they keep trying.
You know, they really are. You know, you see the same things. They've only got a very small bag of dirty tricks. They just keep doing the same shit over and over. False flag, whatever. Here you go again. Oh, we're lying about another war, you know. Oh, there's a gas attack. I mean, it's just like they got maybe 10 things they do, and you just see it over and over again. It gets so old because they're really not that smart and innovative.
Yeah, I think that's the deal. Like, these guys aren't innovators. You know, they're oppressors, and there is a real difference. You know, they're not the people that are thinking up, you know, new ways. They're not the people that sat back and thought up the printing press. You know, and there's a reason that they don't. They're the 1% of the 1%. That's a really small pool. It's 2,000 people. You know, and those 2,000 people are not coming out with new technology, are not doing any of those things. You know, they can hold on to power through violence and the monetary control of our government, but that's about it. And
Yeah,
you do,
you
they've
don't
got
see
a
them spending
huge
anything
lack
on.
of ideas.
Yeah, there's no big spending on R&D in any of their companies for the most part. You know, just you know they'll
No,
get
because
into
this is
media and lose money, you know, to push some politics. But yeah, there's no innovation, man.
yeah, that's not like that's you know it's not surprising to me, and it's why you come up with these same ideas over and over and over. And in some cases, laws like they will push a law that is more than tyrannical. Let's look at the Patriot Act. They tried to push through the Patriot Act over and over again, just naming it a different thing, putting a new set of lipstick on that pig over and over and over again, right? Until finally, when they were in a moment where the American people were scared enough that they could pass it, and they found the right name, to put it at that moment, like there was nothing more important than patriotism. Your country needs you, right? So you name it the Patriot Act and push that bad boy through, but it's not, it's not a new idea. It's not a new law. It's the same old bag of tricks, and they try, they do that over and over again. They've been trying forever to get, the EPA, certain regulations, tax loopholes. They work for decades in some cases, pushing through this same bullshit till it goes their way, or they find the politician that can be, most easily bought. Which now I think it's like wholesale. Just pick one. You can buy them all.
Yeah,
It's
that's
all for sale.
Yeah, that's easy nowadays. They don't stand for anything.
No, open a super PAC and you can pretty much write any legislation that you want. As long as they get their bribe, they will sign anything. Things that they unanimously sign on are what is insane. Where some of these, when you listen to them talk, you would think they were on polar opposites on every issue. How can you agree? You agree on absolutely nothing except for the XL pipeline. You agree on absolutely nothing except that we should be bombing Syria. It's the things that they agree on that are just crazy.
Yeah. Well, they both. I mean, both parties come from an authoritarian strain. That's what they have in common, and that's why they link up on these things. Is they both go for things that deal with control. You know, left and right. They
And it just comes down to
love
like
it.
a difference in personality more than a difference in any sort of policy. And that's what it gets down to. Look, if you're being tortured at Guantanamo Bay, didn't matter if George Bush was in charge or if Obama was in charge. They're still torturing the fuck out of you.
Yeah.
Right? Like the demeanor was different, and how they did it. He did it with with much more of a smile and a kind of congenial attitude, but it didn't change anything. Right? If you were being bombed in Iraq and Afghanistan with Bush, you're being bombed in Iraq and Afghanistan under Obama. That's just the way it is. One of them was using ballistic missiles, and the other one was using drone strikes. It was really just an upgrade in technology, not in a change in policy. And I mean, when we were talking about marijuana legislation earlier, Obama could have done anything, but yet you let millions of your brothers and sisters go to prison over something that is wrong. Right? You're in charge of the entire game, but no difference in policy between the two. Still Schedule 1, still putting people in prison, still, shucking and jiving for the military-industrial complex, right? Prison-industrial complex. Like, it's so the same game. I mean, we get on her a lot, but, Hillary Clinton is a perfect example of that.
Yeah.
In 1990, you're putting as many black and poor people in prison as humanly possible, and then now you're run for president, and you're sitting with a thing of hot sauce next to you. That's what she thinks of black people. Now you're all about peace and we need to stop wars, but you voted for the Iraq War, like, openly, no questions asked.
Well, one reason they get away with it so much is people got short memories, man. They really can't remember shit for 5 or 10 years ago. That should be obvious. And that and so even a schmuck like a Hillary or a Trump, they can rebrand themselves every 4 years. It's like everybody's forgotten. It's like Hillary again. You watch, man. They'll try pushing her again, man, and they'll all be clapping like, "Yay!" You
Oh
know,
yeah, she'll reinvent herself is the word she likes to use. You know,
yeah, yeah.
who is she gonna like? Could you just have a politician that's themselves? Like I can't reinvent myself. I'm always Terrence, right? It's not that you're not reinvented every 4 years where you come out with a completely different whatever is hot at the moment, whatever is trending.
Yeah, you need a new 3 word slogan. You can't. It has to be, how hope and change. You got to keep it simple because people are kind of dumb, man. Make America great again. Oh shit, that was 4 words. He was really stepping out there, but you can't push it too much more than that. People can't handle it, man. They can't
Yeah,
remember
yeah. I mean,
anything. It's like whatever. It just you can tell the here's the thing. You actually can bullshit most of the people all of the time, and that's the truth. I mean, you see these politicians do it every day. It's stunning, man.
well, I think some of that is like the human condition. Like we
You
are
know,
an animal that works on, a hierarchy. You know, we've all, elected to step away from that. But the fact is, people follow. They want a leader. That seems to be part of our, what I mean, of our the human being. It's that we've got people that have been in power for so long and are so corrupt that the need to follow people should eventually be much farther below like who the person actually is. And we've got this like follower mentality in some cases. I mean, that's how you get the pyramids, right? That's how you get these giant churches and mega churches and all of it. People want to follow and want to believe in something, want to believe that their leadership is has their best interest. And it's really hard for them to believe that they don't for some reason. It is that they'll follow the silverback gorilla, like whichever monkey is in charge. There is a tendency to fall into a hierarchy system that I think may be part of the human animal. That we do work in that kind of pack mentality, and that's moved on to our culture and political system. But on the same note, the people that are in those positions of power aren't good people. They'll lead you off of a cliff for their own benefit.
yeah, that's for sure. Well, here's my problem. Look how far we've fallen. The one you used to follow, like say if you were an ape, was the strongest one, so that he could help defend you. He was the biggest. Whether he was the biggest guy on the block or whatever the reason was, it's like, hey, he's the biggest guy. That's why he's in charge. But these political fools, it's like they're not the biggest. They're bad. They're the biggest bullshitters. You know, they're the most corrupt criminals. Yeah, but why are you following that? I just don't get it, man. It's just, are
Yeah,
you
it
that
has to
are you
do with
that
the amount
gone?
of weasels. They're that kind of. These aren't the strong. They're not the people that's the deal. They prove they have no backbones. They will not stand for their people. They'll
No,
kowtow
no, yeah.
to any pressure whatsoever, and especially monetary pressure. But these aren't people that are willing to stand up. And like I think that people would follow you, right? That would support you if you were willing to stand up for them or show that you were real in that. But it's just a whole group of spineless bastards, right?
Yeah.
And they won't stand up for you. They just give you the lip service, come out and give some speeches, like you were saying before, say the trigger words, hope, unity, right? But there's no, they're not unified enough to stop putting people in prison, right? Not unified enough to stop the illegal drug wars going on all over the world. They'll never stand up for your health care or your union rights or any of those things. Freedom of speech, they won't stand up for any of those things. But they give speeches using the words as if they would. I'm here with the people, but you're not, man. Like in any way, shape, or form. You just voted to give, every billionaire on the planet, extra money, while thousands of veterans are starving, literally homeless in the streets. You can't stand up for them. Imagine if somebody came on the Senate floor and said, "Look, I'm going to filibuster until y'all get rid of homeless veterans. The veterans problem. Me and my friends are just going to stand here and talk non-fucking stop until you fix this problem. Hold the entire system up to make sure that those it's like 6,000 homeless veterans,
That's more than that.
with families in the U.S. Well, I meant with families, which I always put them first because you know what I mean. These guys are struggling to make to take care of their loved ones even, which is why most of us join the military, right? And you can't sit up there and talk about that at all. That should be like number one.
Yeah.
Look, I am not going to stop talking on the Senate floor, right, until America gets health care. Y'all ain't going to get shit done. Nothing. But there's no solidarity behind that. Nothing. I won't even go. I'll piss in this bottle. I don't give a shit until we got health care. But no, that's not the case at all. They'll never stand up for those kind of things. They're not honorable people like that.
No.
So these guys will go to like rural America and like act like you're helping out a farmer or something like that, where in actuality they're out there blowing Monsanto. They don't care about farmers.
Yeah.
Right? They'll make sure that Monsanto has a license to spread poison in all 50 states, knowing that it's destroying American farms, right? Destroying American crops.
That's basically what they're doing now.
Yeah, just slide a check in his pocket, man.
I'm a tree hugging hippie, right? Monsanto is killing the fucking bees. That is evil.
Yeah. With their Roundup and shit.
Oh my God! Like that's some Dr. Evil shit. We're like, I'm gonna hold the world ransom by your government and kill off all of the bees.
It's for our patents. We have to make profit. It's America.
Well, we made Agent Orange, and we just have not. We're gonna figure out a way to use that. We got tired of spreading it over innocent Vietnamese people. They seem to get real upset about it.
It causes
So
birth
instead,
defects
we
and
spray it
leukemia.
over American farmers.
Yeah, it causes birth defects and leukemia.
Yeah, look, Roundup is Agent Orange.
Jesus.
So I mean, you spread that all, and they put that crap everywhere. The chemicals that they spray over the potatoes for McDonald's.
I've heard about
right?
that. Yeah.
Yeah, that stuff is insane. Like the farmers, they can't even, they put it in the silo. All the air has to be sucked out of it. The farmers can't go on their farms for days on end. And I mean, the wind blows that crap everywhere. Just because I'm doing it on my farm doesn't mean the small farm next to you isn't having that crap blown in their windows and in their air. It doesn't go away. It's Agent Orange. And if you say, hey, why is there all these birth defects and miscarriages around people that are spraying Roundup in these chemicals, right? There's no correlation whatsoever.
Yeah. I mean, if you go to Vietnam, for the multi-generational effects of Agent Orange, there, you've seen the birth defects that are coming out of that area.
Oh, and it's in, like when we were there, if you went at any town that they spread Agent, because it doesn't go away.
No, they're still having the problems with the birth defects.
And like we dumped it and then we left. So I mean, these are thousands and thousands and thousands of acres and water systems that have been polluted by Agent Orange, right? So I mean, the people that we bombed in Vietnam with Agent Orange, they're still sick in those villages. Right, the water is still polluted. You know what I mean? It's in the soil. It's everywhere, and the same problems that have been politicized off and on. None of those have went anywhere. But what is like ignored completely is the effects that it has on the people that they're spraying it over now. If your wife's pregnant and and you drag a little bit in on your boots or you have it on your shirt or something, you have a good chance of that pregnancy having problems.
Do you remember another thing that they were spraying here in the United States and they stopped doing it was DDT?
Yeah, that was another one that they told us was great for you.
Yeah, my dad remembers telling me about that they would announce that they were spraying DDT and would encourage you to stay inside.
Yeah, and that was the deal. They encourage you to stay inside. None of our houses are airtight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's not the fact that that a cloud of DDT goes rolling down your your neighborhood, right? The fact that your doors and windows are closed does not stop that from getting into the environment, right? Does not stop that from coming into your house. Your house isn't hermetically sealed. But I mean, we can name off, chemical after chemical and company after company that they played this same game. What, they came out less than a month ago and told you the water was safe and drinkable in Flint. Turns out, no, it is not. And I mean, we told you that right away. Do not believe them. And then there wasn't every newspaper that posted, all of the big newspapers posted, water in Flint deemed as safe, blah, blah, blah. The government agencies that deemed it as safe, all that crap. Every big news agency out here put that out. But then they didn't immediately come out, as soon as it was found to be false, come out and say, oh, hey, the water's poisoned. Sorry. Yeah, my bad.
Which it is.
I hope you didn't give that to any of your kids.
Yeah, they have that little miniseries that's going on on Netflix about Flint.
Yeah, I know Jordan Charlton from.
What's it called?
I guess he's not on.
It's called
not
Flint.
On team. Yeah. He also was just up there. I saw a thing from him. I don't really remember the network that he's on right now, but yeah, I know he's up there, doing interviews, doing the same thing. I mean, we know it's one of those, we keep on showing the horrible, the lives that it's destroying. But unlike a lot of things, we know the people that are responsible. We know what the problem is. We have the ability to fix it, and we refuse to do anything about any of it. We're willing to just let those people die.
They've been without clean water for almost 2.5 years.
Yeah, in America, you're telling me you can invade a country, but you can't fix fucking Flint's water. You can send an entire military, right, to stop protesters at Standing Rock, right? The Army Corps of Engineers, but y'all just cannot figure out how to fix Flint's water or hold anybody accountable for it that's responsible for poisoning the water system. It's not that's starting to go on to mass murder. The old people and children that died because of that. You're responsible for that, man. You should get the fucking chair. And I'm not a big pusher of the death penalty, but when you're poisoning thousands and thousands of people's water, right? Children, families, and for profit, and you don't give a shit. Now, come on. That's worse than any serial killer I have ever heard of.
Yeah, there used to be some lines you didn't cross, but now you can. I mean, it's just getting crazy. You can literally do damn near anything.
Well, you get to literally walk away scot-free. You continue on your job, run for Senate, spend funds that were meant to fix the water system on your political campaign, and there's no repercussions for it whatsoever. That's a person I don't mind you sending to Guantanamo.
Yeah.
You just switch them out with that pot dealer that shouldn't be there to begin with. No problem. I won't ask any questions. If you're worried about holding up the prison industrial complex, you don't want to let 2 people go because it puts it cuts into your profit margin. I can name off plenty of senators that we can just switch them out. That way you're not losing. We're both happy. You're not losing any money. Somebody's still in prison. It's like the turn in your guns program, but for corrupt politicians, right? You can turn them in, no questions asked. We'll just switch them out with your local neighborhood pot dealer. Look, he's a good guy. Let's be honest. He hasn't poisoned anybody.
It's a gateway drug.
Money.
It's crazy. It's paranoid. You're going to think people are trying to censor you and they're after you, Terrence.
I believe all of that.
It's going to get to your head.
Okay. So 90% of my conspiracy theories might not be true, but 10% of them are true, and that's pretty fucking bad.
Well, I switch it around. I say it's not a conspiracy theory; it's a conspiracy fact. There are conspiracies, and it's a fact. So get over it.
And I would be
It's
happy for like a good old fashioned conspiracy, but this is just straight up corruption. Like this isn't a conspiracy at all. Y'all aren't even working to hide it. Like it's done and open.
well, it's
Like, you were at least
institutionalized now.
Yeah,
You
you
just
used
do
to have to at least, it be cloak and dagger. Now they don't, you hid the fact that you embezzled all of this money from the church to buy a private jet. Now they come out and make statements about it.
Yeah, which is creepy.
Well, it's
Yeah,
the way
like
they do it. They just throw Jesus in there too. Like, well, Jesus wouldn't be found riding on a donkey nowadays. It's like, oh, really? No shit, man. I mean, I just can't
I
even
doubt
believe some of the
Jesus.
shit they say, man.
I doubt Jesus cusses, but I'm sure that as soon as he heard that, he was like, you know what, man, fuck you. Like that is just so, you know what I mean? I think if I'm not mistaken, that is like the definition of sacrilege, isn't it? Like blasphemy. Like straight up
Exactly.
blasphemy.
Exactly.
And I
And that
don't throw
passes
around
for
the
hey, you're an evangelical nowadays, man.
like that.
It's
There's no reason why the words evangelical, right, and private jet, right, like as in you're evangelizing the word of God, and a private jet should be in the same sentence.
I'm just surprised that he was able to acquire $54 million 3 times. Through his tithing.
Well, yeah, I don't know that the other ones are cheaper jets, what I mean, but still, I mean, Terrence is right. You could probably sell 3 of them and buy one, but he wants 4, dude. I mean, got room.
The fuck?
I mean, I guess why not? Why not?
Yeah, it's an escalation thing. It's like, hey man, I squeezed 3 nice jets out of these people. Let's go for broke. What's the most expensive friggin' jet there is out there? I want one.
Yeah, like at a certain point, maybe it really is like a jokes on you kind of thing. Like if you're gonna buy me a $54 million jet, then like have at it. I wonder if they really do close the doors and be like, you would not believe what these stupid motherfuckers bought today. I literally came out on stage and said, just give me your money. If you want to be prosperous, throw your money on stage. Let it rain down from heaven.
Oh my
And
God.
these dudes bought it. They started chucking money on there like I was a stripper. Like it kind of reminds
I'll say, bro,
me of
I'm in the wrong game. Like,
Oh
I just,
yeah.
I just need to tell people it's for Jesus and shit. Give me all your
But
money.
you got to be a
for-
two-faced. Now you really got to be a two-faced con man.
Yeah, like I'm
shyster.
gonna be honest, I don't
Or
have the
else
heart
they-
for that.
Yeah. Otherwise they'll
Like-
catch on. You got to do it with a straight face and just like really and then as they're handing you the money, stab them in the back just to make sure you got them.
Yeah.
And if they're still cool with it, hey man, you're good to go. You can do it every week.
Yeah, make a television show about it. Put your hand on the screen and send me some more money. I can feel you. You know what I mean? I can feel all you. Just put your hand on the screen.
It reminds me of the
And
Trinity.
they got away
Trinity
with it. I mean,
broadcast.
they're getting away with it, obviously. I'm not letting it go. And I know this new guy's pissed everybody off, but Cephalo's still my number one.
We should find out where that guy lives and just make his life a living hell. I'm kind of joking, but not joking.
Yeah, like I wouldn't mind. You guys want to start a campaign?
10
of
houses
fucking up-
globally, man. He can live anywhere.
I will find him. I can live anywhere.
Bro,
This is the internet.
you think he likes 300 pizzas being mailed to his house every hour on the hour?
Yeah, I mean, just follow that private jet. Or
Yeah,
whichever
sooner or
clown
later,
is
he's
still
gonna-
making him sparkly suits.
Sooner or later, he's going to go. I mean, because they like their jets. That seems to be a big thing with him, is having, with these preachers now, is having, this this jet. You know, it's like a hot wife or something now. It's like you've arrived.
Yeah, young boys are out, private jets are in.
Yeah, unless you're
Well,
in the
didn't all of
Catholic
those
Church,
didn't all
then
of
it's
those
still okay.
didn't all those child molesting priests just get blown up in a or airplane accident? They weren't blown up. I'm not saying that the church would have used that opportunity to silence them all at once. But didn't all of the a bunch of the priests that were caught up in all of those child molesting charges all die in a horrible plane crash recently?
Oh yeah, yeah, you're right. There were quite a few of them.
For real?
Yeah, there was like
Yeah.
12, 13 of them all flying in one jet, all accused of why they were all. I don't know. They must have been going to a party or something. There was an emergency molestation that needed to go down. I don't know why 12. It sounds like the opening of a joke, right? 12 child molesting priests in a jet, right? But no, it had some sort of mechanical problem. Maybe it was God finally getting his shit together.
God's like,
You know, like if there was one thing that was an act of God, that was it. He was like, you know what? Fuck these guys. I'm just gonna do it all at once. Like that sounds like some righteous vengeance to me.
some poetic justice. Yeah. Shit.
Yeah, it's
That's crazy. I didn't even hear about that. How long ago was that?
Not very long. No, not very
yeah,
long.
it was fairly recent. But yeah, I mean, that's the kind of. I mean, if you're not really watching the news, you just get little blurbs like that. And if you're not paying attention, poof,
Oh yeah,
it's
it's
gone.
gone.
You
They've
know?
moved on to the next. The Kardashians are in the White House.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
I heard
that's what
about
we
that.
came
They're,
down
they're
to.
calling it rump on Trump.
Yeah, get some of that booty.
Oh, that's insane. That's the deal. Kanye West comes out last week and says that slavery was a choice, and it's Kim Kardashian that brings up the prison reform. Right? Like what weird world? And like that's the only person like that's who's brought like are you not been you not been listening? He might listen to her. You know what I mean? Like that seems like his kind of girl there.
Well, no, it makes sense because Trump's a big coochie grabber. You know, a good looking gal like that. That's exactly who he wants to have around trying to hustle. It's just the game, man.
Watch 10 minutes later, he's never mind. This turns into another Stormy Daniels situation.
Oh yeah, I mean, you know, hey, he knows she's married and got kids and everything, but he's a coochie grabber. That's what they do.
Well, you see from all of the pictures, he's all of it. Like everybody's always got their hands over their crotch.
For real?
Like yeah, like I wonder how. Like you can go through the pictures and like all of the women stand with their hands over their crotch, and I wonder if it's just like a subliminal thing that just everybody immediately thinks, oh, don't. Nobody wants to get felt up by Donald Trump. Like that's just gross.
Yeah.
Don't rub me with don't rub me with a fine wood.
I said I just vomited in my mouth for a little bit and swallowed it.
Well, it's just like even the Stormy Daniels thing. Like you make some really. That's why I don't trust you to make like good decisions because you would fuck around on your pregnant wife without a condom with a porn star.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. I didn't.
Like you did, like that. That's the kind of poor planning that I don't trust you as president for. You know what I mean? Like, you can find a condom. Like, come on, you can't be like. What did you give poor Melania? That's fucked up.
Gift of a lifetime.
Oh, the gift that keeps
maybe
on
that's
giving.
The gift that
maybe
keeps
that's
on
why
giving.
Maybe that's why she's in the hospital getting that little kidney something or another done there. You know, yeah, maybe you got some problems.
I wouldn't be surprised, man. You were rough riding porn stars on the weekend and still doing your wife at the same time, dude. That is fucked up. That's not only messed up, that's nasty and then poor. That's how you spread diseases.
Hey, but I'm a billionaire, man, and I just banged a porn star. I mean, it's like huge street cred, you know.
Bro,
And I mean, sure, she loves you for your personality. Like all of these Like all of these guys. Like, yeah, it's totally your person. Because I mean, all of these guys have like the personality of a fucking turnip, right? Like every single one of them. Yeah, yeah. It's not the millions of dollars and the houses and cars and all that shit. She loves you because you're a great guy.
Well, let's face it. Hey, Melania's a gold digger too. I mean, and she did good. I mean, look where she's at. But there's a price to pay, man.
Well, yeah,
Because
I mean,
you're a gold digger.
yeah, I think she's went above and beyond. You know what I mean? Like, if there's anything, I think really like just she's taken a lot for the country and just like staying quiet and not like freaking out that your husband was banging porn stars. Which I mean, she may have known about, or you know what I mean? I don't know what the deal is, but God, she's putting in the work now. There better be some serious payoff, or whatever their prenup. Like maybe the deal is if she leaves, she doesn't get anything. Like
Well,
he has
that'd
to
be
divorce her
surprised.
kind of thing.
Well, hey, look, they're probably, she comes from kind of a, I don't say a totally sleazy background, but that modeling, and she knows what she's getting into, man. You're probably both a bunch of swingers. You're both getting out there, so maybe it's probably no big deal.
Yeah, like I don't know how much of it is is things that, like I said, he bought her. That wasn't two people finding love. Their love is contractual. So I don't know how much of that is. So I mean, do you really care that the guy that bought you fucks around on you? That doesn't seem like something you would really be too stressed about. I think she'd probably be really happy that she doesn't have to have sex with Trump.
Well, they won't even hold hands in public.
Like you're
if you
doing
notice
me a
that.
favor at that point.
They don't even hold hands in public, bro.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay. So they gotten tired of each other. They got to do it for errors, whatever. But hey, if you had a billion, I don't know, man. If I had $1 billion, I'm sure I'd be getting a little crazier than I am now too. It's so.
Bro, if I had $1 billion.
I definitely have an all-electric pickup truck. I think that would be my big purchase. But no, because that's I don't know. To me, that is like the biggest turnoff. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't be able to like be with somebody that I know like was only with me because of my cash, because we had a contract, because we had those things. I don't know. I think that would really that would bother me. And maybe it doesn't bother these guys because that's not something they're interested in, or that they're I don't know. I would have a real problem with being with somebody that I know the only reason they're with me is to use me for whatever it is. It takes a certain kind of person to be into that. I don't know.
Well,
I'm gonna be honest. I like being a single guy, so I'm not really.
well, it's like being bisexual. I mean, you could be a lot more active and just a lot more out there if you just be bisexual. But
Did you
can't
just
do
call
it.
me bisexual? Did I miss?
No. If you were bisexual, I mean, look at the avenues that would open up. And you got to be trendy nowadays too.
I got kicked off there. I got the part where you called me bisexual, and then it all just cut out. So no, I don't think that being single is like being bisexual. But I'm pretty sure that you didn't just start and end the conversation.
No, I'm just saying being the way you are limits yourself. If you gotta open your mind.
Yeah, well, okay. Guys, I was married for 10 years.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I'm cut out to be. I like being single. I like being single. I'll just start. I'll start it and finish it with that.
You don't want to be a rich playboy and just have 3 or 4 of them around and just treat them like shit because you can.
Nah, that doesn't sound appealing to me either.
No.
Like
Well,
I said,
won't.
I definitely.
I don't want to say no,
Different
until I
strokes for
try.
different folks. And it's like it's every little girl's dream. I really hope I, fall in love with a rich guy so he can use me for my body for money. That's really the dream. Maybe and wherever she's from, maybe that's more what you're looking for.
I like that Eastern European look. There's no doubt about it.
Well, yeah, because all of them that he's into always kind of have that kind of lizard lady look. Seen some really beautiful Eastern European women. He doesn't seem to be with any of them. They all kind of look like lizard people.
I can see why he goes after Stormy. Trump likes big breasts. That's a common theme that I see. You got to be.
I do enjoy big breasts as well.
Yeah, he's a D cup man or bigger. Hey.
I think I don't know what the deal was. I think I don't know why she went with it either. She's already a porn star, already doing her thing. I don't know what. I think there was a job that he kind of wanted to promise her or some shit like that. But I can't I don't understand that whole world. It was obviously a power game for both of them. So yeah, I don't pretend. It's just I don't know. That whole world is just weird. I can't be buying people. I just don't. I think that's the thing. I don't like the idea of buying someone for any reason whatsoever. Not my game.
Well, you weren't born with a silver spoon in your mouth, so.
I don't think that's where they put it on a lot of these people now. It's a silver spoon somewhere. Yeah, it might be. It's like a couple of these things. It's like the pedo rings and all of that stuff. This seems to be a rich people disease.
Oh yeah, they got too much time and money on their hands. They got time to do all this shit.
Did you guys see the thing about the women that were on the Superman show, but the one where he's a teenager? Smallville. Did you guys ever watch Smallville?
Yeah.
No.
So the two main female characters from Smallville were running a weird sex trafficking, abuse, S&M ring.
Yeah.
And I didn't watch Smallville, all that much, but I mean it you guys get a chance to look into it. It is weird. They were branding these models, and they had to have sex with certain producers and all of that, or they, if they got if they weren't the right weight, they'd have them wear these cow outfits and run around. What the fuck was going on there?
Well, it's a grooming cult. That's what it is. It's like the
I mean,
grooming
that's what they
gangs.
They referred to it as
on.
They referred to it as a cult in the thing that I read, but it just it was just weird. And you never feel none of these people ever feel like you're at the wrong party. You know what I mean? When you walk in and there's a woman chained up to the wall in a cow outfit and another one being branded while boning some sleazy producer, you'd think you'd walk in and be like, oh, I'm at the wrong party. I'm obviously not supposed to be here. Right? And they all seem to just play along and going, I mean, not act like I was lost. Oh, sorry. Wrong room, but instead they all just join in. I don't know. I don't get it. It seemed like something you would walk away from in a fucking hurry. Thanks for the invite, but this just isn't my kind of party, guys.
Got to be some strange
Well, don't you
odors
wanna-
there. I mean, you're branding.
Yeah,
You got
fuck.
your butt fucking going on. I mean, all kinds of weird shit. It's like, what the
Furries.
hell, man? You walk in that room, you're like, oh my god, like,
Well, I'm not touching anything. I'm
Right.
telling you that much right here. You've got, you've got
floor.
Donald
You're
Trump and
like,
R.
you could be
Kelly
no banana
peeing on
peels,
people
but
in
you
the
could be
corner.
slipping everywhere.
Why is everything covered in plastic? What are you people doing in here? Yeah, like I always wonder what the, you know what I mean? Hey, you want to come over and burn one? What, you want to come over and have a couple of beers? You want to come over and brand some women over this weekend? No, I don't. Thanks for the invite.
Sorry.
The code word will be pepperoni pizza.
Oh God. Wasn't it like comet pizza?
Oh yeah, Comet Ping Pong.
Yeah. Pizzagate. Was anything real? Did anything real come out of that shit?
Nah, it got like it got smashed by the puppet masters, right? The people that are involved in international sex trafficking rings of small children. So, the story of Pizzagate with there being like a basement in this building or some other building, it just isn't true. Right? Now, are they molesting children in a basement somewhere as we speak? And are those people rich and powerful and well connected? Fuck yeah, that's not debatable. Right? That's happening right now. Did the church hide, pedophile rings and send priests all over the world that still are not being prosecuted? They don't release the names of the priests that they knowingly sent around that molested, in some cases, hundreds and thousands of children. Right? Do those things exist? Yeah, 100%. No doubt. Was it in this basement? No, it wasn't. And they really latched onto it not being at that location and ignore like the truth of, you know what I mean? I mean, even with the 1,500 immigrant children that they sent with Trent, I think that was Obama, wasn't it? That signed them over to known people traffickers.
No, they
How do you
can't
think
find
that
them.
worked out?
Mm.
They can't find 1,500 kids.
Yeah, and that was, and they put them with known traffickers.
I mean,
and
there's that whole thing of them not showing up. But yeah, I mean, who knows? It's something weird probably going on.
Yeah,
Well, that's why
come
you
on.
allow. That's why you do so. That's why you have, these Haitian tragedies or these migrant, caravans. I mean, that's just ripe for the taking, man. I mean, if you're into criminal activity, that's something you can work with right there. And squeeze
Yeah, and I
something
mean,
out of.
there's
How did they not
There's-
know where? How did they not know where 1,500 kids are that they detained?
Well, with a lot of those stories, when it comes for the government that sound unbelievable, like, hey, how did you lose like $1 trillion? It's not lost. They did it on purpose. You know what I mean? Like, it's not. They didn't lose it. They
1,500
embezzled it.
1,500 children.
Well, they don't
Which
keep
on the
track.
scale,
Tyler.
there's 350 million, you know what I mean? People in the U.S. alone, billions over. How much will you pay for a blonde-haired kid overseas to your rich friend?
Jesus.
And it's those kind of connections that people hate to make. But look, you don't import and export thousands of people in any direction, one way or the other, without the U.S. government knowing about it. These are the people that, you know what I mean? We were talking about the NSA spying and spying programs. That's kind of the problem, because you don't spy on people to fix those kind of problems.
Yeah.
Right? You're spying on, 5 people, talking about politics and what's going on in the news on the Anonymous show, and, on Anonymous Bites Back, and not searching for the people traffickers all over our planet. You're deliberately not looking for them.
Tyler, did our stream end?
What? Did it?
Can you check it? Because it seems to be ended everywhere.
Yeah, we went on to Pizzagate.
Let me see.
Well, we didn't start it till.
No, we're live.
No, Commander X says at Facebook we ended abruptly without an outro. He was wondering if that was normal.
Oh
No. No, we did not.
no, we haven't ended it. No.
So everything is still running on Facebook too, and
Occasionally there are hiccups in between regions and locations. I've noticed, but I don't think that that's. Well, that could be. It could be Facebook doing it directly.
Yeah,
I'm
and
trying.
sometimes it's by location. So I mean, there's people on my Facebook that they'll write me and be like, hey, you haven't posted in a couple of days, and I'll show them screenshots of my page, seeing that look, I post 3-4 times a day, every day on all of these pages, and they just don't see them, or it'll come up on their feed weeks later in some cases.
Yeah.
And that was
Yeah.
like the problem that we have in New Zealand. I'd be posting on my page sitting right next to,
Oh shit! Did we lose him?
They finally got him.
Oh shit! Terrence? Terrence? Dude, just as he was talking about. Oh my god.
That's insane.
Dude! Dude!
Terrence, I hope you're trolling us right now.
That was really bad timing.
Yeah.
Well, he usually blinks out at 3 hours. I don't know what that's all about, but he did better than that.
Right as we were talking about. Oh, I see him pop up. Hold on.
Just popped out of the chat. Yeah, he's reading.
Yeah, he's on the page.
I see him. You can see what I'm typing. Oh, wait. He's typing.
Booted, he says. That's weird. Okay, but Commander X said that we like reached the 4 hours on Facebook, so that's probably why. But I can't really check it now. Let's see.
I'm checking Facebook. We're live at 3 hours and 31 minutes and 42 seconds.
Okay.
But I've noticed that over time, that regional, like Terrence was saying that we were not live in New Zealand, but we were live. So
Yeah, and on the YouTube stream, I can't click like skip ahead to live. That's weird.
As soon as I got up, well, I mean, I'm sure they're buffering it. I really do. I mean, it is certain, a certain thing. There are, there are glitches in our broadcasts and all of that. But I mean, this is pretty obvious censorship at this point. I don't think there's, with us specifically, I don't think that there's any argument that they are trying to, silence certain things that we say, stop us from broadcasting on networks. Like, they really are doing everything they can to try to keep whatever we're talking about suppressed.
Yeah, we're live on YouTube.
Tyler, are you recording these episodes too, by the way, or?
No, fuck. I forgot to. It's like I remembered halfway through. So once this is done, compressing on Facebook, I'm gonna have to download it from Facebook.
Yeah, because we can always spread it later. Like we can be censored now, but we can spread it later, and we will find a way to have people watch it.
I just forgot to press the record button. My bad.
No, it's not like we don't change. Like, in case you missed it, like our underlying ideas are pretty focused most of the time. And also, I mean, we do go from issues that are going on and things that are happening in the world, but the same people, the same problems are pretty standard at this point.
Yeah, we talk about censorship, and all of a sudden you get booted.
Yeah.
Every show. Huh?
Yeah, I've had a real hard time staying connected here. It's just, I mean, I guess it's part of the game. All I can say is that, if some of the stuff that we're saying, is opinion. A lot of what I say, I don't hide that. It's just my opinion. But obviously there's enough truth that we are spreading enough truth that they're scared. It takes a lot of work to try to undermine what we're doing. We're on so many networks. We're posting. We have other people posting and downloading. Sharing it out. We have so much going on. It has to take a lot of work on their part to even attempt to silence it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They're like
You
Anonymous
know, it's
Bites
not like
Back.
they could sit in the background
Delete.
and just let us do it. This is like actively trying to shut us down. Why that is, I don't know which issue that we talk about that gets them so much.
All of it. We're tired of you. We're trying to get you guys
Yeah,
to
I've had,
shut up,
I've had enough.
and you won't shut up. You know?
No, in fact, it makes it even worse.
Well,
I mean, I'm not saying that it worked, but you could always try to buy me off. You know what I mean? We take cash donations. Now, I'm going to be honest. Chances are I'm going to use that money to try to bury several industries. But I really implore you to give it a go. You know, make the anonymous donations into my bank account. Maybe I have a number. You know what I mean? I'm thinking maybe 100 billion. 100 billion. I could get quiet. You never know. The chances of me using that to buy to hook, you know, Haiti and Puerto Rico up with solar generators and make like a huge media deal over it are pretty good. But you never know, right? Maybe 200 billion. Oh, I might get quiet for 200 billion. You never know. Give it a go. Like you might as well. You've tried everything else.
200 billion. Yeah, we would
Yeah,
have like our
definitely.
own island with our own fleet and our own broadcasting already. So
I'm not saying what I would do with it. This isn't going to work. Come on, we have to at least act like we can be. You know, I'm like the politicians. You gotta give me money. I promise I won't use it to bury you with. I promise.
well, that's too much because they can bribe Hillary Clinton for a lot less than that. You know, millions.
Yeah, but everybody hates
100
Hillary.
million. Yeah.
We're well loved.
Yeah, but she's a known criminal. I mean, with a long history. You don't have that.
Well, yes, yeah, fair enough. And I think that does make her much more bribable. Is the long history of corruption. I mean, I think that's the only history really, because I mean they'll tell things at the time as being great, and then all of them within a small amount of time, a couple of years, you find out are really a shit deal for all of us. But hey, you know, ignore her support of the prison industrial complex. She's got hot sauce on the table. She's with the black community. You know, she stands with black and brown people. And views you as a person to be boiled down to whether or not she's got hot sauce in her purse. And she called me a super predator. Fuck her.
I mean, if there ever was a, I mean, it's funny, you know, the words she uses, I mean, it really describe her. You're the super predator.
It really does.
You're the son of a bitch that won't fucking quit, you know.
And I think now she's edging that she'd like to consider becoming the CEO of Facebook. Did she see like how corrupt it was and thought, you know what, I need to get on that?
Well, you got to. I mean, if
Like,
you're wanker, well, if you're wanker boy Zuckerberg,
the weird money deals and selling personal information is like, you know what, I want to be head of that company.
that's the kind of shit she can do all day long, man.
LexCorp wasn't hiring.
Well, Zuckerberg better watch out because when you got a supreme criminal like Hillary saying shit like that, she's gunning for you, man, and you don't have a chance, wanker boy. You're fucked. You know.
You end up in a body bag.
Yeah.
I think it seems like
your Android.
Yeah. It was what was the evil character? What was Data's brother? Lore. He had that whole like lore look. Increased smiling by 20%.
Yeah, can you imagine the kind of shit they're going to be pushing through Facebook if she gets in charge? I mean, man, you'd just be bombarded with Hillary fucking propaganda. I mean, it would be so disgusting.
Oh yeah, it just turned into Hillbook. All Hillary all the time.
We control your internet. Fuck you.
Oh, it's like the worst person. Like I said, is LexCorp not hiring? Like, is there not just none of Monsanto's CEOs have died yet?
No, she's looking for a gig, man. Things are slow.
I
And
don't.
I mean, that's right. That's right down her alley. You know, I mean, Facebook is
Is
the
she
kind of
even is she
control.
even running like for presidency again?
I bet she will.
Oh my god.
I'm almost certain that she will. The Democratic
Almost
Party
won
is
last time.
dead set on is dead set on like, I mean, suicide at this point. But yeah, she's still edging for the president.
Yeah, I mean, come on. She's, you know, when you've got that much money and time, you got time to do all these things and screw companies over and fuck people around. You know, it's just part of the game, man. And they play it well. You know.
Well, I mean, you know, if people really want to see another 4 years of Trump, then they'll run Hillary Clinton. You know, there is nothing that will do the Trump campaign better than running her again. Like, that will almost I mean, I guarantee that will give us 4 more years of Trump. If they run
Oh my
Hillary, we
God.
will get 4 more years of Trump, no doubt.
It'd be 4 more years.
Because I mean, look, this is bad, right? He has fucked everything up. I'm still not voting for Hillary Clinton, like, ever. Quit asking. No. The answer is no.
Yeah, but can we stand another 4 more years?
It's like it's like an overzealous crack dealer. Like, no, I don't want any crack.
I'll
But
give it
they
to you
just
free.
keep
You
on-
can pay him back tomorrow.
No, I don't want any crack. I don't care if it's free. I don't want any Clinton. I don't care what sauce you have slathered her in, right? I don't want, like, she is the worst candidate ever. She's a terrible person on top of that.
You are right about that. She is not a good person at all.
I don't know whether I don't know whether she eats babies or not, but I wouldn't put it past her.
Don't give her any ideas.
You know, it's one of those things when you hear it, you're like, oh yeah, that might be true. She is a pretty horrible person.
Yeah, a few spirit cookings here, you know, among friends. You know, what's the big deal? A couple of snuff parties, you know.
Oh, I'm sure.
Didn't she
What-
openly
what-
admit in one of her
Clinton's
books that
brothers-
she was involved in like voodoo or something like that?
His
Well, that's
brother
what
was a pretty big. Clinton's brother was a. Oh my God! Don't even get me started. Like, they are some of the only people, like, after the hurricane hit, like after the earthquakes and like after everything that went shitty with Haiti, right? They're the only people that left Haiti like in worse condition when they got there. It was literally better if they had not shown up at all.
Yeah, there was like $14 million that were dumped into Haiti, and then they were supposed to build like 75 homes. They only built like 5.
Oh yeah, and I mean, we saw the same thing like right away in Puerto Rico. You know, the same kind of mindset. I just, you know, give a shitload of money to one of my friends, and it's not going to work out. They don't care. They've already been paid.
Yeah.
You know, they gave the contracts for the electrical system to that company of 4 guys in Utah that weren't even an electric company.
Right.
And it's not like, you look, Puerto Rico still doesn't have power. Like, not only were those people that they picked, they never even bothered to find a replacement. They did find the extra money to send Tiger Swan, to send mercenaries down to Puerto Rico because they were protesting the I don't know, fuckery of the U.S. government with the, you know, after the hurricane. But yeah, they can't find money to help Puerto Rico, but they can find a couple $1 million to give out to mercenary groups to oppress you, no problem. So in case you guys didn't know that story, they sent the same mercenaries they sent against the water protectors. They sent down to Puerto Rico to help control the protests that were down there. And lo and behold, same tactics, right? Brutal police, activity through mercenary groups that are held accountable to nobody. Infiltrate our police departments. Use, put off flashbangs in people's faces. Deliberately, maim and hurt press. The same MO, the same game, but yet they couldn't find any money to actually help anyone. And we've got pictures of all of these, of all of these mercenaries down there. Same patches, the works.
Yeah, you can't have all these guys just standing around not having any work over at Tiger Swan. I mean, they need jobs, man.
Can I recommend the IT field? Like, you may want to get into another line of work other than oppressing other U.S. citizens. Just throwing it out there.
Yeah, I mean, they've created such a huge need for them now with all these illegal foreign wars and all these protests, average citizens getting out of line. I mean, these guys have been pretty busy.
Yeah, they need a third party because, although we don't hold our police departments all that accountable, there is still at least the notion of accountability. With these mercenary groups, they're ghosts in a lot of cases. You can't even track down who your police department was taking orders from. Mercenary, Jason came in and briefed you guys on the old ladies and press that you need to attack this weekend. And you took those orders, but there's no repercussions. When you ask, well, who was Jason? Oh, well, we don't know any of that information. Or it's classified. But oppressing the American citizens is classified? Why? But no other time would you be okay with a mercenary organization commanding your police departments.
Yeah, I mean, not long ago, that was something you stayed away from. It's like, hey, we just don't do that. That's what true despots do. But now, hey, no problem.
Yeah, now we fall in line. Like, there aren't officers that look around and be like, look, I am not serving the people that I took an oath to serve. I'm working for a mercenary group, taking orders from a mercenary group, not the government, not the people, not the law, you know what I mean? Any of that, to oppress my own people. I mean, Jesus, even the Forest Service has riot gear and rubber bullets and tear gas and showed up against U.S. citizens at Standing Rock. The Forest Service, you know what I mean? That's insane.
Yeah.
I can verify that.
Smokey the Bear would not be cool with that.
Smokey the Bear is going to get his ass kicked by Fish and Wildlife.
I'm hoping he turns around and just mauls one of these fuckers. I reckon Smokey's on our side.
I think
Smokey's
so.
on our side. I'm not buying into it. I reckon Smokey's on our side.
Well, hey, they don't like big fires either. It's not like, I mean, there's going to be some bears caught now. It's not like you can outrun a fire even if you're a bear,
Yeah. You definitely need a tank and tear gas for that.
You got to keep all these trail riders and all these hikers out of all this land. You can't have these motherfuckers just thinking they can walk around America like it's free. The hell?
Yeah, they should make a song for that. Like, this land is your land. I don't know. I'm working on it. I'm going to try to put some from sea to shining sea. I'm just going to try to put some stuff together. Maybe put a beat behind it. I wonder if it'll take off.
Well, when they say this land is our land, it's not what you think. They mean ours, not yours. Ours.
Yeah. This
Wink,
land is
wink,
my
wink,
land.
wink,
It's around the ass on the plantation.
Yeah, it's my land.
America, fuck yeah.
Hey, they're doing some. I don't know if it's BLM or Forest Service. I think it's on the California side of Lake Tahoe, shutting down snowmobile trails and getting all crazy up in that area. So, I mean, it's even hitting the rich folks, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, and that's something you're starting to see. They've been able to hide a lot of things, but I mean, in one case, they literally have ran out of black people to oppress, right? Like, you know, when you're starting to get like, you know, 1 out of every 3, 2 out of every 3 people they've sent to prison, right? They've literally ran out of minorities to oppress, and it is starting to bleed over when you see like, and it does hit America, you know what I mean, in what the majority is. You know, they start saying, look, that guy looked just like me, and he just got out of his car. Y'all started beating the fuck out of him. You know, they didn't believe it before, and now it is kind of turning into that. You know, when they, you know, first they came for me and I said nothing, or you know, first they came for my neighbors and I said nothing. Now they're coming for me and there's no one to stand up for me, and that's what we're starting to look at. That thing with you know, with that woman chilling at the beach in New Jersey, like they just straight up beat the fuck out of her,
Oh yeah, that
and then
chick,
made
that
up
little.
a story
Yep.
that she spit at them and kicked them in the nuts, and then when
Uh,
the actual video came out, nah, you
beat the shit out of her.
attacked her
Yeah.
and beat the fuck out of her, and then made a story about it.
They beat the shit
And
out of
when
her
you got it,
because
like,
she said that don't you guys have anything better to do than to try and detain underage people from drinking, but she wasn't even drinking.
yeah, they breathalyzed her twice. She had broken no laws, right? She had done
And then they
absolutely,
beat
and
the
the
shit
drink
out of
that was
her.
there, yeah, and the drink that was there was unopened. So the beer that was there, she said was her aunt's or something like that. Which, look, man, she's a 20-year-old woman drinking on the beach. Like, let it go.
That's the
You
thing,
know
is
what
she
I'm
wasn't
saying?
even
Like, it's
drinking.
semantics.
She wasn't even drinking, though.
But I mean, even then, like, you know, take the beer away from her. Like, there comes a point where you've went all the way into, you know, you're beating young women at the beach for possibly having alcohol.
Yeah, like what is wrong? What is
Like, if that doesn't say what's going on in the U.S., I don't know what is. I don't give a fuck who you are.
Well, that's the
You know,
man.
they've already tricked people into believing, okay, well, the black guy that we see on TV, right, the person of color that we're seeing, those guys deserved it, right? But that's kind of ran its course, and now it's harder to make those excuses. We've given them those powers already. You got to prove that you were a fucking saint, right? You know, walking with your hands up, screaming, "Please God, don't shoot!" And even then, the police that shot you are not going to go to prison for it. Right, but at least people, you know, almost feel bad for you. Now they're having trouble painting your average citizen. You know, with the trailer parks, right? It was you know what I mean, the things that only affected poor people. You know, that guy didn't have any teeth, so the cop should have sicked a dog on him. You know, now it's starting to happen to that, you know, that cute girl next door that they're doing the exact same thing to.
Yep.
You know, it's starting to hit the bigger population that, you know, these same tactics, the police brutality that you were applauding, you know, when they were after the scary minority, insert minority, you know, culture here, whatever one you need, that's ran its course. Like, nobody believes that anymore.
So I think what you're saying is hitting white people more. And it's true. You know, that's.
Well,
I
and
mean,
and
it's for
the cell
everybody
phone.
now. There's nothing sacred anymore. So we just go after everybody, little kids, white, black, doesn't matter. Just beat the shit out of you.
You know what's funny is that you
Yeah,
don't
and
you don't see this in, I mean, you do see like police brutality, like, but not to the extent that you see in the United States. It's pretty damn bad.
oh, I like in all of the countries, even when I was in, you know what I mean, in with communist dictatorships, I've never seen police brutality on the scale. I've never been in fear for my life from the police anywhere but in the States.
Mexico, I was
That's
where
just
when
not.
they
I
extorted
mean, what
me.
we've built and trained, and you know what I mean. This authority, you know what I mean, complex that our police departments have. That, you know, they can. You don't have the authority to murder people. You don't have the authority to harass me. Right? You have the authority to fucking fight crime. Right? To stop crimes, and that's it. But they've got themselves convinced that, you know what I mean, it's the escalation of force. You know, it's like it's just nonstop. It's the only words that come out of their mouth. We were using deadly force. This is the escalation of force. I needed to use, like, it's all this mindset, you know what I mean, of overt aggression with no repercussions. No, you're a psychopath, man. You beat the fuck out of a woman in front of a crowd because you were wearing a badge. That's it. There's no law that was broken. You're not enforcing any law. She didn't break any law. You hurt an innocent person and then lied about it on top of it for no other reason than because you have a badge. It's okay.
Yeah, the only good thing that
Like
that came out of that is that they did those officers are not on active duty or are not they were reassigned after that.
Yeah, I would have. I mean, and that happens. That happens a lot. But what they weren't done is charged with assault.
Not yet. There's an investigation
Exactly.
going on.
They don't get in
Where, look,
trouble,
you're
man.
Yeah, look, firefighters have dangerous jobs too, right? The ambulance and first responders have dangerous jobs as well. They don't beat the fuck out of people to deal with it.
Yeah.
Well, all they
And
do, I mean,
the one where they stick that dog on this poor guy, sitting in his car. They pull him over, get out of the car. He doesn't want to get out of the car. Now, I guess the story is that they know this guy and that he has mental problems. Your reaction to somebody with mental problems is to stick an attack dog on them? Like, what kind of sick fuck is that?
Yeah, for sure.
well, it's just one of the hammers. They got hammers, and that's one of their hammers.
Yeah, attack dogs. That's
And
totally that's a totally legitimate reaction to anything.
Hey guys,
Hey,
we only have 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
In
All
the
right.
world, in the world of Psycho, anything goes, man. I mean, that's what you're looking at. It really is. It's passing as everyday activities now. Nobody gets excited.
And I think that some of the reason that even on us that they don't censor some of our videos is not because they don't catch it, is because they'd like to desensitize people to that kind of violence. After you've seen the 200th, police beating, it becomes normal. I'm going to get 10 of them today. At least of different instances, and eventually, I think they do hope you become, desensitized to it. You don't stand up because that's just normal life.
Yeah, it's working. I mean, you do it long enough, it's policy. I mean, because that's the only way they can. I mean, there is no law. This is to do it. There is no law.
No, we went definitely into the police state. Like, I think that's becoming harder and harder to argue against. You see it all the time. Look, when your police department has a tank, you are in a police state.
1 minute, guys.
There's no other way to say it. I'll try to. I know everybody's got to say their outros and all of that stuff. Did we ever get the dun 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 music to go on the end?
The outro.
Yeah, we need like Three Stooges music. Or
I'm
something.
sorry,
Yeah.
I kind of lost you for a second. I was like, nah. I mean, I can run it right now. Hold on. So to our guests, or to our viewers, we'll be back on Thursday at 7 p.m. Pacific time. Oh no, wait, we might have something special coming up on earlier next week. We'll be posting on our social media pages, and we'll run out with the outro.
Thanks, everybody.
I declare this to be an unlawful assembly.
Yeah, sometimes it's hard for me to talk when I start talking, so it's like I don't know what I'm hearing.